long have you been here?
20. I moved here in 2018, 2019.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah. So I was like
And
20.
you got here during COVID? Or like right
Before
COVID?
the year before, so
Ooh.
2019.
So
That's rough.
You kind of like saw what it already was before COVID, and then
Yeah.
you had to do, yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be different, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was cool too. Like my main focus was like always training and stuff like that, but to experience like the city, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm a small town kid,
Yeah.
but I was more familiar with San Antonio because I've always gone to San Antonio my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same but different vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like it was different coming back.
Bro,
I was like, damn.
completely different. All right, Zay.
Yeah.
Started off.
Started. And that's our intro.
We busy, 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 we busy. That bitch so pretty, got a mean girl just like Lindsay. Said she fucking with me, making drives across the city. Swear this shit can get too litty. Pushing be like Diddy, you ain't B-boy, who you kidding? At the top, I see you there. In LA, I see you there. At the space, I see you there. Texas State, I see you there. I know y'all go crazy, y'all be turning up in the square. Take another pill and we get turned up just by anywhere. Hit you in and say yeah, just to see if there's a feeling.
Welcome back, PCT family. It's your boys. It's Zay. I got my boy Zachary right here at the under end. It's kind of weird because he's always in this spot, but it's the host with the most, CJ.
Hello, everybody.
And then we do have a special guest. We have an interview today with the champ,
Yes, sir.
Johnny
only.
Gonzales.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Hell yeah,
Appreciate
bro.
it.
Thanks for coming on to the podcast.
No, for sure, man. For sure. Anytime, man.
Hell yeah,
y'all
dude.
help me out, dog. I help y'all out. For
Okay,
sure.
like this has been in the planning in the works and
For a
all
while.
that. And I'm even then the first time we did something for Black Widow.
Yeah,
Like
for
we were
sure.
trying to schedule one since then.
Yeah.
But now that we've like done like a second one, like a second opportunity.
If y'all
with
haven't seen that, go check it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
It was our little vlog that we did for Johnny's title fight that we'll obviously discuss in this pod. But
yeah,
it
we'll be
was a
linked
little-
in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll kind of talk about
Trip down
The
there.
trip.
the trip down there. Sorry, you kind of my train of thought, but
We
the
kinda-
trip down there and
Yeah.
No, you're nervous. Don't lie to me.
We also kind of like spoiled like the whole like end result, earlier by calling by his title.
I mean,
and,
it's okay.
and obviously
if you haven't watched it already,
and obviously
out,
that
yeah.
thing right there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It's right there in the center. He's
Absolutely.
a champ, bro.
yeah, come on now.
But yeah, so if you haven't checked that video out, make sure to check it out. And let's get it started. So, what's up?
What's up, man? Just chilling, man.
Yeah.
This is nice. I like y'all set up and stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Have
Respect.
you ever done a podcast before?
Not an official podcast, but I've done like Q&As and stuff.
Hell
like
yeah.
via like Zoom or like in person,
Yeah.
but not an official podcast.
Oh.
This is my first time too.
Wow. Well, we're glad to be your
Sure.
first.
Nah, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So why don't you give us a little backstory about who Johnny Gonzales is?
Who Johnny Gonzales is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice
Yeah.
question.
Wow.
Shit. Oh, let me tell you. Nah, just kidding. I'm just a kid from Uvalde, Texas, man. Just a small town kid chasing a dream. But yeah, I grew up, born and raised in Uvalde, Texas. I moved out here to Austin, 2019. So was that like about 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, something like
do
that.
math.
No, four.
Four, yeah.
Math.
Moved out
Quick
here
math.
just to chase fighting. That's like my passion. That's what
Oh, like in the
came-
streets or?
in the streets.
joking.
Man,
joking.
jeez. There's a time in my life. No, no, but
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. Hypothetically speaking.
Hey, what's the first rule of Fight Club?
Let's speak about Fight Club. No, but yeah, I was born and raised in Uvalde, Texas. Moved out here 2019, just chasing the dream. Pursuing fighting, MMA specifically. And yeah, man, I grew up in a small town. Not much to do out there.
Yeah.
But
Butt fight.
like it's pros and cons. Pros and cons. Yeah. I grew up playing sports my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, what'd you play?
I played basketball and football.
Oh, okay,
My
okay.
main
What
ones-
positions? Let's.
Well, basketball was like my first love. I started when I was 8.
Oh,
Really?
really?
I was a point guard. I was a PG.
Nice.
Okay.
My
you
first
got
sport I
it?
ever played was soccer, though. I play soccer. You know how everybody like they play soccer like 4 or 5.
Yeah, you just kind of run around.
Yeah,
kicking
you
the ball.
know, and
Yeah.
I remember I hated that. I hated that. You know what I mean? I'll play it now for fun. You know what I mean? There's a lot of agility and stuff that I like now, but at the time I remember I hated that. And my mom, I remember my mom telling me like, "You got to finish it this season. You can't quit."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn it!" At 4 years old.
Yeah.
No, and then like fast forward it, started playing basketball at 8, football at 9, and I played basketball all the way up to college, and then football I stopped at high school. I was playing in high school. I played up to junior high, so I stopped at high school.
Okay.
And then
What position in football?
I was a cornerback, receiver, and safety.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Defense is
Get you somebody that can do all
So
three.
something like, you know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I was like the biggest ever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm still not the biggest, you know. So then I had to learn.
Clearly, you
quickly.
can hit somebody.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some of that aggression comes from the sports background,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And early on I figured out like stuff translates, you know, from what
Oh.
you do or you grew up doing in terms of and translating to fighting. Depending on your style and stuff like that, that's where my IQ started growing in fighting.
Yeah.
But growing up, I was a smaller kid, so it was like you got to be a little bit smart in terms of your sport. You know what I mean? Basketball, PG, running the offense, reading defenses and stuff like that. Reading passing lanes and stuff. And then safety, you know, seeing coverages, you know,
The
what I
whole
mean? Reading the
field.
whole
Yeah,
field as
literally.
a safety, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I grew up playing sports, man.
And you played for who?
I played for Uvalde High School, or Uvalde Junior High, Uvalde High School, and then at college at SWTJC, so Southwest Texas Junior College.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah,
You were hooping?
I was hooping, yeah.
Really?
Hooping. And it's funny,
Damn, dude, you're just all-around athlete.
I was only going to school because I was hooping.
Oh,
You know what I
shit.
mean? I'm not gonna lie, I hated school. I
Okay,
hated it.
damn, you were nice with it then.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
was-
mom. Sorry,
We
mom.
might have to go
Yeah,
hoop.
mom.
I was gonna say, I guess going back a little bit, like you said you didn't like school and stuff. So like, how were you as a kid? Like, were you like a
No, I mean,
troublemaker? Were you a
bro.
good
I mean,
kid?
I wasn't a troublemaker, but I always had like as a teenager like a little attitude. You know what I mean? Sometimes thought I knew it all. You know, that type of attitude.
Yeah.
And but it's crazy how stuff in life works, right? Because I remember having that attitude and sometimes being hard to coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a coach, like them telling me what to do, and I thought I knew it all. Like, that shit ain't gonna work. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because I thought I was that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then fast forward it in high school, or from 8th grade to high school, right? I had a good chance of making varsity as a freshman for basketball.
Wow.
So I remember that, right? But the thing was, I was dealing with a back injury that I had. So going from 8th grade to 9th grade. So I remember there was always like this feeling in my back that I was feeling. I don't remember how I got it. And I just started feeling pain. I went through like 6 months with it, just like trying to grind it out, you know?
Yeah.
And then, man, I remember my mom helped me out. Like, we were going to the massage therapist, to the chiropractor, and
Damn.
everything, because we didn't know what it was.
Yeah, no,
X-rays
yeah.
came out good. A lot of things came out good. And then it wasn't until fast forward freshman year, I ended up making varsity. But I'm still dealing with the back injury. And then I remember it was like a couple days before like our first scrimmage. And I remember going for a layup, and then I came down and I just felt like it's like somebody punched me like in the lower back, and I couldn't move. Like I landed, and boom, I felt like an old dude. Like, you know, when they hold their backs and like, my back. Yeah, it was that type of shit. And I couldn't move. I was like, what the fuck? And then I remember going to the trainer's office, had to get eyes recover, whatever. And then find out, fast forward, that I had stress fractures in my back. So it's like your spine and then the two bones that like arch, like right below like your tailbone, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I had fractures right there. And then, so then right then and there, I knew I was going to be out for like the rest of the season. Right?
What grade was this?
This was freshman year in high school.
Oh,
Damn.
Freshman year in high
that's
school.
tough, man.
Right? Blessing in disguise, because I'd rather have that happen freshman year than
Early.
Oh,
senior
yeah,
year.
then,
you
like,
know,
yo,
right?
yeah.
I remember all like my upperclassmen telling me, hey, bro, it's best you had it now
You had-
than
yeah.
you had
your
it
senior
earlier.
year, right?
Yeah, no cap.
Yeah, and so then but like that like humbled me in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you still get humbled to a certain extent, like whenever there's levels and everything. You know, you're freshmen playing with seniors, juniors, you know, you're going to get work there sometimes, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And, but then that was like life hit me. Cause like as a youngin', you just want to be outside, you know, hanging out with the boys, going to the park, you know, everything,
Trying to
right?
hoop,
Bro,
yeah.
but I had to be in a back brace for like 6 months. So I
Damn.
couldn't do shit, like at all.
What-
so
what
then
did-
I remember,
What
bro,
did you do during that time?
Bro, nothing.
Like, at all?
At all. Like I couldn't do nothing. Like I had to be in the back brace for 23 hours a day, and I can only take it off the shower. And so that was kind of when I hit a low point at an early age.
Yeah.
Like now that I look back at it, that's kind of like, I guess like a depression in a way.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Your
crying myself to
hurdles.
sleep tonight, man, just because I'm like,
Yeah.
this shit sucks, bro. I can't do nothing. Bro, I remember like y'all took naps in school.
Yeah,
right? You know
yeah.
what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
Bro, I couldn't even sleep in class. Sorry,
'Cause
mom.
you were-
Sorry, mom. Where's my camera? Sorry, mom.
everyone.
Yeah.
All three.
But I
one or
couldn't.
the
I couldn't
one?
sleep in class. So I remember sometimes what I'll do is I'll stack books, because like you in a back brace, right? So you can't bend over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't bend over to like
Yo.
slouch or nothing. So I had to be like this, and I had to stack books. And then,
Yeah,
And
you know,
then-
we're asking
and then
everyone for the
sleep.
textbooks.
yeah.
No class can
Let me
read.
get your
And
book
so
real
anybody in a
quick.
back brace, you know the life hack. You know. What I'm
Hey,
saying?
popcorn. Well, Johnny, because he has all the
He
damn
got
books.
books.
We don't even know what page we're on.
What are the books? How we out of books?
Yeah, that's
Boy got 6 stacks over here. 6 books.
So, quick question. You talked about earlier about moving to Austin to pursue fighting.
Yeah.
So, why did you kind of pick Austin? I mean, obviously for fighting, but like, what kind of made it stick out besides other like major cities?
Well, because I was supposed to move to San Antonio at first. I had a friend of mine, one of my good friends. We were supposed to room together, right? So moved to San Antonio, room together, and I already had a place that I was going to train at because I was training there when I was back home in Uvalde. So I would travel sometimes to go train in San Antonio. So I kind of knew I had a place, right? But then last minute things didn't work out, right? And so we weren't able to get a place together. And I was like, man, I want to go for this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had never been to Austin since I was probably like, man, a youngin'. I had to be at least probably like 7, 8 probably. Like the last time. Because I had a family member that lived here.
How
And
far is Uvalde from Austin?
It's like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
And then
It's
from to San Antonio,
With traffic,
it's-
it could be like 4 and shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no, but like if you get a good time, it could be like 2.5, 3. Yeah.
From San Antonio?
From San Antonio, it's like an hour.
Oh, okay.
Like, cause like from Uvalde to San Antonio, it's like just like it's like a 4-lane highway, like 2 and 2.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's no cities; it's just small towns, so you don't really hit no traffic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like kind of like the drive to Victoria.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a lot of open field and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You usually gotta be worried about deer, you know, at night or in the
Yeah.
morning, you know. But from like San Antonio to Austin, well, you hit like San Marcos, you hit like Braunfels, like you hit
Kyle.
yeah, exactly.
Kyle.
And it's like traffic everywhere. And so yeah, so it's like probably like 2.5, 3, depending on traffic. Because like if you leave, bro, I've left here like around like 3:00, and then I'm on 35. And then it's like, damn, I'm still here in Austin. It's like been 45 minutes. You know? And then I hit San Antonio traffic. And I'm like,
Oh, that one was-
I would get home till like 7. And shit,
Yeah.
when I go visit. But yeah, that was the main thing. Going back to your question, the plan was to go to San Antonio, and it didn't work out. So I remember I had a family member that was renting out a room here in Austin. One of family member was renting out a room, and he was going to charge me rent. And so I wasn't thinking about it like that, but then I felt like it was weird, man, because like once I started pursuing fighting, I wasn't like questioning what I was gonna go for. It was weird. It was just
kind of went with it.
weird. Yeah, man. I remember, bro, because I'm like kind of sometimes like indecisive sometimes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I was just like, no, I'm going. Like that was it. I didn't know where I was gonna work. I
Yeah.
didn't know what gym I was gonna
Just
train
pulled the
at.
trigger, let's
I
do
was like,
it,
bro,
yeah.
pulling the trigger, going, right? And then I remember, and it was funny because I remember me and one of my homies went to grab dinner one time, and it was right before I was about to move. And he's like, bro, I can't believe you moving. I'm like, what the hell? And I was like, I can't believe it either. And but it was a good decision because it was different. I wasn't in a familiar territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was familiar with more so San Antonio because I'd go there all my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so being here, it was different. I was kind of alone. You know what I mean? I only knew like one person.
Yeah.
So sometimes whenever you're like alone in certain situations, you'll grow. If that's your perspective, that's your mindset.
No,
you know?
yeah.
You could be alone and be like, man, this sucks. I feel like a victim mentality kind of.
Yeah.
And then I started like figuring out stuff about myself. Started like kind of learning about yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just been ups and downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, but the goals never changed, the work ethics never changed, and it's just been steady. You know, it's a marathon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just gotta keep pushing like to what your goals are and what you're pursuing. And it's always gonna get tough. You know what I mean? But are you gonna fold or are you gonna keep going?
Yeah.
One's way easier than the other.
Oh, yeah.
But one's more rewarding.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
One's worth
And
it.
so
in the
that's kind of
long
like been
run.
my mindset, man. And I've grown so much from being here. So it was one of the best decisions I've made so far.
First impressions of Austin?
Oh, beautiful, man. It was because like driving up to Austin, and I hadn't been here in years, and I was like, I forget how it looks, you know. And then I was like, oh, it's still a beautiful city. It wasn't as big as I thought it was. Maybe because like I was smaller, and I was like, fucking gigantic. You know? It's still big. Don't get me wrong. But then like seeing like, you know, interacting with people and different, I see why like it's kind of like so what I'm looking for, like different.
Yeah.
Weird. Keeping Austin weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Say it's weird.
Hey,
That's
yeah,
weird.
yeah. And but it's like a good weird.
It's a
though.
good thing,
It's a
yeah.
good weird,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'd rather be weird than like boring.
For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
At least we're not boring.
Yeah. Right. Are y'all all from Austin?
Yeah, we grew up in a little town outside, like 15 minutes at most.
What's the
Pflugerville.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Pflugerville. Yeah.
Yeah, we all grew up from there.
That was the thing I knew about Austin too. Is like it's like a bunch of it's like Austin and all those little small towns kind of make Austin, but
Yeah.
they're different. They're kind of like on like the outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like how Houston is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like KU,
Yeah.
there's like the other suburbs outside
like
of it.
Dallas too. It's like
Splendor.
all these little fucking small towns.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Going back, because you were saying that, you know, obviously you were an athlete in high school leading up to even college. So you were saying you were playing basketball. How did you get into MMA and fighting? Or
So
where did it start?
That's a funny story because I had trained when I was a kid at like a local MMA gym. I was probably like sixth, seventh grade, and we had went and I loved it. Like I loved it. A lot of stuff came natural to me, and I was there probably for like 6-8 months, right? Like consistently, and but I was still playing sports too. So I remember I would go sometimes, and then I had football practice like right after or before. So it was kind of like staying busy, right?
Yeah,
But what happened was I remember I was getting ready for like a competition too. I can't remember if it was like a jiu-jitsu or I think it was jiu-jitsu. And so I got bad grades on my progress report. Like as a youngin', right?
I already know this.
Okay, so yeah, I got bad grades on my progress report, and then my mom ended up taking me out until you get your grades back up, right? I was like, damn. And I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like this school stuff, stupid.
Damn it, let me go get this
yeah.
A real quick.
So then fast forward, I pick up my grades, but then sports kind of picked up too, you know, and I just never went back. You know, so I would always had like a relationship with it. It was just kind of super distant. And I'd always been a fan of MMA, UFC, boxing, you know.
Yeah.
And then my dad had showed me a video of one of my little cousins, and she was like doing like it was like a taekwondo karate tournament,
Yeah.
right? An in-house tournament, right? And then I was like, oh dang, I didn't even know we had this gym here in town. You know, it's because it's a smaller town. And I was like, damn, I need to go check it out. And then like that. That's what the thought was. I was like, I need to go check this out. You know?
Yeah, take me right now.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
I went to go. I called.
I got the car
and
keys.
my instructor now, who's like one of my like big mentors too, still. He answered. We just talked a little bit, and then I went to go meet up with him, discuss the schedule, and then boom, rest is history. Started there. It was more so like
What's his name?
jiu-jitsu. PJ Talavera back home. Shout out instructor. Yeah, he's been a big mentor to me still. And yeah, man, started training jiu-jitsu in the gi. And then it was like a hybrid. It was still like taekwondo.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that too because I've always seen like taekwondo like highlights and spins and a lot of
Yeah.
flashy shit, right? I
Yeah.
was like, I want to learn that. I was like, I need to learn that. And then
Trying to roundhouse kick a bitch.
for real, right? Yeah.
Gotta do that.
Y'all seen Step Brothers?
Yeah.
He better not get in my face. I'll just drop that motherfucker.
Roundhouse.
And no, that's what it was, man. It was like a taekwondo, and I remember I knew I was at a good spot, right? Because like I wanted to learn like flashy shit, spinning shit, right?
Yeah.
Never trained that art before, but I figured like my background and what I've done athletically, I feel like that style could help me. You know what I mean? And so I remember wanting to learn. I remember telling him one time, I was like, when am I gonna learn like the spinning stuff? And he was just like, that comes later.
Yeah.
He was like, you have to learn this before you do this.
For sure.
You haven't
And-
even
and
broken a freaking
You
wood
haven't
thing
even
yet.
part. And but yeah, he told me that, and then I was just like, and then there were so many details to that one technique, and that's what kind of made me addicted to like the training, everything, like certain details, like with everything. One little thing can make the biggest difference. And I was like, that shit's crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
And then so that's when I was just like, okay, let me just stick with the process, you know? And then he introduced me to like levels, like training with like high level people, like killers. I remember going and getting my ass kicked. And I was like, this is great. And, you know, just a competitive guy, you know what I mean?
this.
Don't get me wrong, it hurt a little inside.
Yeah. You know what?
But that's when that pride
Humble.
gets,
You get
yeah,
humbled
you
real
know what I
quick.
mean?
You know what? Wait till I whoop your ass next time,
Especially
bro.
in MMA, dude. If you in MMA, you're bound to get humble at some time, you know, because there's so many different disciplines you need to get decent at. You know what I mean? Like in boxing or in like Muay Thai, you only have to focus on one thing. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you'll still get humbled. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But there's certain guys that are just like really talented and really athletic, and they can use that, bro.
Yep.
It's hard if you don't know what you're doing once your back hits the mat, and somebody's on top of you, and you don't know how to get up. That and you're just like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, you know what I
Trying
mean?
to think. Like,
Yeah, you know, and then he's just being calm on top of you
Yeah,
and
just
shit.
moving your
Pause.
arm a certain
Yeah,
way so
and
you
it's
could
like,
do
what the
this.
fuck?
And
How's like,
yeah.
how'd you get my back?
Yeah.
Whoa,
And
there you go.
yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah, so we're not used to
Off
the
camera
lingo.
shit, off camera shit.
Hey, I took a jiu-jitsu class for like 2-3 months, right, in summer.
This story's always funny.
Oh, dude, because I was the biggest kid in like this kids class, right? So I was like, shit. I was like, I'll take any of y'all. I was like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I was like, I was whooping everyone, like whatever. And that's why I was talking about you get humbled real quick, because all of a sudden they're like, all right, well, why don't you go to the adult class? I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So anyways, I go in there and like I was there early because like the kids class was right before the adult class, so I was there already early. So the instructor for the adult one comes in. I was like, I'll take you right now before class. I was like,
Oh,
like,
the instructor.
yes. I thought that was hot shit. Yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah. Huh?
How old were you again?
Probably like 12, 13, maybe.
He was like last week.
Yeah.
last week. And then, anyways, yeah. Long story short, got humbled real quick.
Yeah,
Because I was like, oh, I could take you. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, pause. I was like, I got you. And literally, I think it was 30 seconds. This guy like had me like this and basically chokehold.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can fight this. And I started blacking out. Like, I was just
Seeing
like,
stars a little bit.
yeah. I was all right. Never mind. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's good for you
Yeah.
too. You know, whenever you kind of have to like swallow your pride, and you're like, damn, I thought I was better than I was.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, you're not. You know what I mean?
You're not that guy,
I
pal.
remember getting my ass kicked by like a girl who was like, she probably weighed like maybe 110 one time. I had just been training probably like for like 8 months, almost a year. So I like in gi, you know, you have like the belt system, you have your stripes. So I
Yeah.
had like maybe a couple stripes. And she was like a brown or black belt. She was small though. But in the gi, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the gi.
Yeah. I did a
it's
little
like
taekwondo
kinda like
back in my
yeah,
day.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways you
brown
can
belt.
manipulate the lapels and the grips and the sleeves and stuff like that. Bro, I had no idea what to do. I was like, dude, she whipped my ass. I was like, I didn't know if I was like, do I love you right now? Or do I hate you right now? I was like, I don't know what's going on right now.
Do I propose right now?
Felt like it was like 8 arms on me. I was like, what the heck?
It's like, do it again? Yeah. No, don't do that again. No, chill.
Hey, that boy got up.
That hurt a little bit too much. Just testing it out.
Yeah.
Okay, tap.
No way, you can't do that twice.
Hey, that boy got up,
Same
bricked up.
position.
He's like,
Same position. No, but like that I remember walking away from that. I was like, damn, bro, there's levels. You know what I mean? And I think once you respect the levels, that's when you can really start like leveling up too. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're kind of delusional, maybe there's some good to that. You know, maybe like super confident. You know,
Yeah.
but then what happens whenever you just get shut down? Do you still have that same mindset? You know.
Yeah.
So I think once you respect the levels and you experience it, that's whenever you can like your eyes start opening up. You know, maybe you might take it more serious, or maybe you ain't gonna take it serious. That can like make or break you sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's good for everybody just to get humbled sometimes. You know, whether that's in life or sports or whatever it is. You know,
whatever.
Because then you're like, damn, what do I do now?
Oh, well, time to be an adult. Let's
Right?
do this
Yeah,
shit.
Here's life. You know. And but yeah, man, I remember that day. That was fun.
Was mom talking shit on the way home? You really got beat by a girl.
I remember, because sometimes in the gi, you'll have like marks on your face, you know, if you're getting like rubbed on and pressure and stuff like that. And I remember she was like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "Hey, funny story, mom. Let me
girl
tell
whooped
you.
my ass.
Let me add some context.
Yeah.
Buying time and shit.
She was huge.
I was like,
as
she was
hell.
pretty big.
Yeah.
she was pretty big.
bro, hey, she benches like 400. Like
I gotta swear she was an Olympic weightlifter or something. No, I remember telling you, she's like, "Oh, girl, did that to you?" I was like, yeah. I was like, it's 20 something. Yeah. 2019, mom. Damn.
Don't be like that.
Yeah, but that's when I started figuring out too, like how important technique is. You know what I mean? Looks can be deceiving too. You can look strong, athletic, and stuff like that. Then there's some guys that don't look like nothing, like no disrespect, but then they're killers. You know, just technique and composure and everything. And it's like, okay, now that's how I said, like your eyes start opening up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then you're like, okay, I for sure could do this. And it was weird. Every time I get my ass kicked, it never like discouraged me. It always like maybe because I've always been a competitor. It just always like kept me going, like you know. It would like give me an uplift instead of like the opposite, you know. Yeah. It was weird. I was like, okay, bet. I hope I see her again.
She gonna get this roundhouse kick.
Nah, I see her. I'll be like that.
Yeah, you just lose.
Oh, okay.
Well, the other guy becomes a champ. You know what I mean?
And then they like he doesn't have a belt because you lost her. Or...
No, they're making
They
another
don't
one.
have to get a new one every
Yeah,
or like
they do.
No, that's not what I meant. They don't have to give it up like every.
Oh yeah, like if I lose it, I have to
Yeah.
take it back to them.
yeah,
and
it's not
nothing like that.
Because then
If I were to do it,
was,
if I did have to, I'd be like, oh, I lost it.
that'd be the WWE.
whoops.
Hey, that shit went. I don't know where it went. I sold that motherfucker.
So, hey, they're about
Mom's
to
like
put
in the background, like
Yeah.
running off with it.
No, but yeah, that's what they do. But that's what's crazy too, because I'm not even like, of course, like the goal is to win every time. Like that's the main goal. Like I'm winning at all costs. Don't get me wrong. But like along like my journey and like growing as like a person, I've learned the more important stuff to me, like that's gonna keep me fulfilled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like anything can happen like in a fight. Are we rolling? I didn't know.
Oh, we are.
Oh,
We are
okay.
rolling.
No, it's like well, anything can happen like in a fight. Say you got a fight announced, right? And then, boom, 6 weeks. All right, bet. Boom, 1 week before the fight, pulls out. You get sick or something. Now the fight can't happen. You worked so much
Yeah.
hard, and you were investing like all of that on that outcome. And it's like, damn, now what? It's like, was it just like for a waste of time?
Yeah.
Or like, did you grow at all in that process? You know what I mean? So I've learned to kind of stay in the moment, like enjoy every moment as it goes. Because like, you have a fight 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Or 5, however long. And it's just like, why are you thinking about it too much? You know what I mean? You like, don't get me wrong. You got goals and you have like things you want to get done, but like kind of learn how to like detach yourself from it so you can focus right now. It's like if we was on this, like if I was on this podcast right now, but mentally I was already thinking about later on, and I was like, you know what I mean? That means I'm not fully here mentally.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my mind space when it comes to that. Like the wins and losses are great. Don't get me wrong. That's gonna
Yeah.
happen. But I believe like you put the time in the process, you trust the process, then the results are gonna take care of themselves.
That's interesting
You
you
know?
brought that up because I mean that's not something that's really talked about that often. Is like the whole like fighter mentality of like your emotions like that. Because I mean fighters are very emotional dependent on winning usually. So that's kind of interesting to talk about
Well,
that.
kind of emotions are kind of everything in fighting. It's, I feel like it's more so in MMA than anything, just because I mean you use literally everything. But I mean emotions are everything when it comes to a fight. That's why I mean
Yeah.
Conor was the best to do it. He got it under everybody's skin, but that's why he's so successful, because everybody's trying to kill him. But it's like when you're trying to kill your opponent, you're just beating yourself.
Yeah. you
And
kinda-
sometimes he might be cool with his emotions, but he's trying to get a rise out of you.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If I can get that, then I'm like, I already won. You know, it's like same thing with Floyd. Floyd talks shit, you know, son. And everybody's different too. So you got to find out who you are, when you perform well. Some guys get that rise out of them when they talk shit. They get it going, you know. And some are cool and calm, and you ain't gonna get them. You know what I mean? And then they perform well, you know. So it's just like everyone's different too, you know. But that shit's entertaining as hell though.
Oh, absolutely.
It gets people that don't even watch fighting like, I want to watch this guy fight. You know?
I saw them talking shit to each other.
Yeah,
That shit
and I was like, they got me hyped. Oh,
Yeah.
like, when's the date? When they
And
fighting?
that's what got Conor so big.
Yeah, you know. But then it's like you gotta back it up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Well,
what
and he
made it
backed
even
up.
bitter. Yeah, yeah.
backed
If you
it
can
up.
talk that much and then you back it up, say what you're gonna do, you're like, oh my god, this guy's amazing.
about that smoke.
Yeah, he wanted to smoke and he delivered. You know, but it sucks when you don't do it. You know.
Oh yeah.
But that's the game. Like, I mean, in fighting, in any combat sport, you're going to have a winner and loser, sometimes a draw, right? But it's just like, okay, was you talking all that? Did you back it up? You know what I mean? And it's just like, and if it's kind of like deflating, it's like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. It's a crazy sport, man. It's a crazy sport. But, yeah.
Well, transitioning into, I have some questions for you.
Ask away, man.
Okay. At the moment, what is your record for the audience to know?
4-0.
4-0.
4-0, yeah. MMA, officially 4-0. Like, I remember I had a couple exhibitions, MMA, then it'd be 6-0. And then I have Muay Thai fights. The Muay Thai fight, I'm like 3-2 in Muay Thai. thinking like that. So total, I have like around like 12, 13 fights, something like that.
Okay.
I don't want to do the math, but yeah.
Why in boxing do you have to have X amount of amateur fights to turn pro, but in MMA you can just pretty much
That's
whatever
a
you
good
want?
question. I don't really know. I'm not as familiar with the amateurs in boxing, but part of it's probably a good record, good selling point too, and it's experience at the end of the day too. Because the more fights you get, the more experience you get, the more comfortable you feel when you're in the ring. That's what I would think, especially in the cage too. The more fights you feel comfortable, because shit's happening fast sometimes.
Yeah.
And then if you can slow it down, you'll probably perform better. It could be like, a money grab too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's about to turn pro. He was 25-0 amateur.
Damn,
Lomachenko,
many fights do you
had
have to
like
have?
a couple hundred. You know what I mean? I don't know how like the international amateurs work. That could have been his dad too was his coach. So maybe he wanted to give him time to develop too. That's what I think is big on fighters too, is having to develop. Because instead of like going back to the drawing board, you did this, but someone exposed the holes that you had in your game. Now you got to go back to the drawing board. But if you like plug them up as you go and develop, you're just a better overall
So I
fighter.
just found that out this weekend that in boxing you have to have X amount of amateur fights before you can turn pro. But
What
it's
is
a
X
number.
amount?
What's
I
the
think it's like 12 or 15 or
No,
something
that makes
like
sense. Yeah.
that. And then MMA you can just
No, MMA depends on how they like you.
Yeah.
Honestly, promoters like you, promotions like you. They're like, oh, this guy can fight. He's entertaining. He's skilled. And boom, give him fights. I mean, but you still like no amateur is gonna have like 2-0 and then go pro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe if you were like a world champion black belt in jiu-jitsu or like a
wrestling or some
D1
sort, yeah.
wrestler, you know what I mean? Maybe there's like those like special like circumstances. But for the most part, no, most MMA people will have like maybe like 5-6 amateurs and then pro. And then once you go pro, there's levels to everything. You know, there's like the smaller amateur promotions, big amateur promotions, small pro promotions, and then the big ones like the UFC, one FC, Bellator, and things like that. But yeah, and I think too, it has like to do with the fighter too, and management. Maybe that's probably a big thing too. And maybe if the boxing, they invest into like some amateurs, and then they want to invest them, give them time, and then boom, they make that leap to pro. But yeah, boxing gets a lot political too, though.
Yeah, I don't really.
I mean, I love boxing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love a lot of.
Do you?
Dude. I watch fighting galore, dude. And I take a lot of inspiration from like the footwork in boxing and some guys for my style. But you just have to know the differences and the other weapons that they have.
Boxing is technically beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It's too political, too corrupt for me. Like,
Yeah, man. Like,
I mean, you brought like the Lomachenko fight.
Yeah.
Lomachenko won that fight.
I believe
but
that too.
Since Homeboy was younger and he's up and coming. why
And
would
then
you
what's
give
the next
somebody-
fight?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when it kind of takes
Exactly.
away from the sport.
And
you
then
know?
for me, boxing, there's too many divisions, too many weight classes, promotions, and
WBO,
Yeah.
WBC,
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm like,
and
who do you fight to get
UFC
there?
and
You know?
UFC,
BBL.
one, all that. Just it's one.
You got rankings. You have like
Rankings,
top
weight
5.
classes, like
it's just
5 weight classes, and you're good. Just
yeah.
like boxing.
kind of
just-
keep it more simple. You know what I mean?
Fucking 10 weight classes and 40 pounds. It's like, what?
I mean, 10, I mean, more weight classes. I could see how it's kind of better for like boxers, like because the weight cutting's not as crazy. You
Well,
know what I
sometimes,
mean?
because I could be wrong, but sometimes like a pound, 2 pounds, like 145, 147 bout. Like it'll be
No,
147 pounds.
you
like,
can
what?
make that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes those 2 pounds are a bitch to cut.
yeah.
Those are fucking. I've had some bad weight cuts too. And I'm like, fuck. I felt like I was dying just from 2 pounds.
Have you ever
Another
missed
mental
weight?
battle.
or-
No, I've never missed weight.
Okay.
Never. I kind of take pride in that.
That shit's another mental battle
Shit.
itself.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
you'll learn a lot about yourself in that moment. Do I really love this? Like, do I really want to? Do I really want to do this right now? I was like,
fucking
but
starving right now.
But that's where the discipline, like you'll like learn about how important some discipline is to have. You know, it's like, damn, you had that 1 pound to cut. And like, fuck, I shouldn't have ate that donut or something. I shouldn't have had 4 slices of pizza. I should have had 1. You know, because then you really hating it that you made that decision. You know, but then if you discipline and you're like in the process, you do everything you're supposed to do. It's just a lot easier. But yeah, like in boxing, they have like 140, 147, or like 130, 135. And the 5 pounds, it's not like a big, like drastic like difference. But I can see how it can be easier on the weight cut and stuff. And guys, it's easier for guys to move up too, you know. But yeah, weight cuts are fucking a bitch. Sorry. Come on,
You're good. You're good.
tough.
Oh,
but yeah.
what is your fighting style? Now that you brought
Dude,
that up?
that's a good question. I like to mix it up, man. I like to like a lot of my inspirations, like guys that I was watching. I always like the guys who move different. not like super traditional. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. You have to learn fundamentals and you have to get everything like fundamentally sound, right? Because those are just good habits to have whenever you fight. But I've always liked guys that have really good footwork, really different movement, good head movement, you know, like a swag to them.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm more so of a striker, I feel. But I mean, I like to be well-rounded too at the same time. Like, I never got into this game like pursuing only one discipline. And I was like, this is going to be my specialty, you know, because then what if somebody exposes all the stuff that you're not good at?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so I just wanted, especially it's MMA, mixed martial arts.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to be a well-rounded fighter, but specifically I like to be different, you know. So my style, I like to move different, like to dance on dudes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And who were these guys that inspired you?
Oh, dude, I got a lot, man.
Yeah, that's fine. We got time.
I'm a nerd, man. Like
Well,
boxing.
one that came to my mind for MMA at least was like Dominic Cruz,
Yeah, dude, I love Dominic Cruz, man.
Vincent Henderson.
Yes, yeah. Like Dominic Cruz, because early on in his career, no one could figure him out.
Because he was just so orthodox.
The unorthodox movement was so crazy to guys. You know, it took a while for people to start getting it, and he had so many injuries, man.
Yeah,
So many
that's what hurt his
knee injuries.
career.
That's what hurt, especially his style. Because now you're not as quick as you are, you're not as fast. But you know, when you see him in his prime, it's just different. Like, but the movement was different. Like you see the foot patterns and no stance and constantly switching in and out. Sorry, I'll go ramble on about like techniques and stuff.
You're good.
But yeah, but I look at like guys Muhammad Ali and footwork, Willie Pep, old school boxer, you know, and then guys like Floyd, defensive, not getting hit, countering, you know, and in MMA, Wonder Boy, Michael Venom Page, you know. One of my favorite Muay Thai fighters is a guy named Eddie Abasolo. It's one of my biggest inspirations. I got to work with him too when he came down to Austin.
Shit.
And but guys that kind of like weren't scared to be different too. You know what I mean? And you see them like early on, they didn't really have like that style that they had when they got to that certain level. You know, because you're kind of early on learning your style. You're learning what works for you. We're learning what doesn't. What changes you need to make. You know, but dude, I have a lot of inspirations, guys. I kind of look at my style like a spider web, like in the middle, and I'm grabbing from this person. I like how he does this, how they do that, and then I'm kind of like want to make it my own. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where my fight IQ is. I just want to be different. You know, like if you could study me, but it's gonna be different when I'm in there with you. You know what I mean? The movement and the feints and the footwork and stuff like that. So I kind of want to be complicated. You know, it's like a relationship type shit.
No, I definitely get it.
Complicated style.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What is your favorite memory of the sport of MMA?
So far, favorite memory? Well, probably
In boxing as well, just because it sounds like you're a big fan of boxing.
I'm not too big of a fan of boxing. I'm just a nerd of fighting.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm very open-minded. Like, I could talk to you about, like, fucking karate, and I'm not a big fan of karate,
Okay, well,
but I love the style, you know? But in MMA, man, bro, honestly, okay, let me say mine first. My favorite memory is, of course, winning that belt. Probably, for sure, was that. First so far. But I don't undervalue what I've done, you know? Because, like, you have to keep those memories to yourself and understand that you've done something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you can't be complacent and settle. You know what I mean? Because there's been a lot of guys that probably done what I've done. Another state, another country. You know what I mean? So I can't focus and settle on that. But that I do know that was a good memory for me.
Yeah.
You know, and my family, bro. My family, shit. My dad was holding the belt. I thought he won.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Bro,
we got the footage.
After the
Yeah, we
fight, and
got it.
at the after party, my man was carrying the belt the whole time. I was like, damn, did you fight? You know? He had it on his shoulder, he was holding his chest and everything.
I think
and,
we got it in the film somewhere. You saying, "Hey, it's your job to hold this belt all night,"
He
or
said,
something.
I got it. And, you know, no, but that was a good memory too. But for MMA, man, I remember watching Conor knock out Jose Aldo, like live.
Was there? No, I wasn't there. I was at Chad Mendez. I was supposed to be there technically, but
Yeah.
because that was my graduation present.
Oh,
Was the
badass,
The first
dude.
one. When they
Okay.
did the world tour and everything.
Yeah. Oh, before it got canceled.
Yeah, then
Before-
Chad Mendez
subbed
fought him.
in. Yeah.
I was at that Mendez fight.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sick, dude. That shit was fucking crazy.
Because that was
Probably
also
crazy.
the Rory McDonald Robbie Lawler Part 2. There was a
Battered
war.
and freaking-
Yeah.
That's
That
like
was
that's like a fight for the century.
That
dude.
that's to
That's
me
a-
is like the best UFC fight.
That's like, oh, so you want to be a fighter?
Yeah.
Watch this fight. Like, watch this fight, and then rethink about it. You know.
Yeah.
But I remember like yesterday, like I was at my dad's house, and we were watching. We had just put it on, right? Put on the pay-per-view. Main event started, and he goes to go get a drink, and then he's there in the kitchen, and then I go screaming. I'm like, oh shit! He's like, what happened? I was like, he just knocked him out. And it was like 13 seconds.
He's like, "What the hell did I pay for?"
You know, he was just like, what? He was like, already? And I was losing my shit. I was like going crazy. I was like, holy crap. But I remember that like it was yesterday. And I was like, what the
See, me, I never care about that. It's like, I only care about that if it's bad. If all the fights are quick, I don't care because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, as long as the fights are like good, then I don't care how like I. That I
What do
pay
you
for
pay?
it.
Yeah.
As long as
Did
it
you
wasn't
watch
like
this
boring.
Did you watch this
or
last UFC
anything.
fight with Amanda?
With no, I didn't watch that
No?
card.
I
No,
did.
So,
but
like-
she was like piecing her up like majority of the
I
fight.
mean, it was just the
One-sided.
The second most boringest fight I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It
it was the
was-
first.
Rose and
What's her name? Carla Esparza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fight, that title fight was the most. That was
That was
the
a tough
worst-
one. That was a tough
That was
one.
the worst UFC fight I've ever seen. Well, the worst fight I've ever seen. Period.
Jeez.
That
Damn.
was bad. It was boring. Like, I think there's less than 70 punches thrown.
Damn. Were they just running around?
It was a
Getting
super.
cardio?
It was a super technical fight, but with no output.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a chess match, but no moves were being
Yeah,
made.
it was just-
And it's just like, yeah, people were kind of like that. You know?
I think for me personally, worst fight I've ever seen was boxing.
Who's
it
that?
was I think it was Mayweather versus Matthew Ortiz.
Okay.
It was basically Ortiz like did something and he's like, oh, like my bad, Adam's like that. He went to go hug him, and Mayweather just not like he just hit him.
Victor Ortiz, yeah. And he went like this, right? He headbutted him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh no, we're good. Bing.
Yeah,
Bing.
so I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, it's kind of dirty.
yeah, I was like, what kind of like?
It's like an unwritten rule. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you want to touch gloves and
Yeah.
re-square, but he said,
Damn.
you know, so yeah. That's why it's like the same thing. Some people like at the beginning of fights, you know, you either look, touch, or sometimes people have touched and then went to go strike right away. It's kind of like an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right.
This
I
seems
have
kind
a
of fucked
question
up.
I've
Though.
always wondered. Also, you don't mind me asking, but how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. And when did you start
Uh,
doing MMA?
20.
20. How much does it affect you? Like you starting at the age of 20 versus guys that then start like you're going up against guys that have been going, so like 7.
Yeah, and no, it's funny that you asked. That was a good question. One of my friends asked me that too, and I was like, I think I don't have my style, how I move and how I operate if I start earlier. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I had that question in my mind too when I started. I was like, dude, there's kids that have been boxing since they were 7. There's dudes that have been wrestling since they were like 9. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's kind of why I wanted to be different, you know, because then you're in the gym and you're sparring these guys and they move a certain way. You're used to that. And I was just like, what can I do that I've been doing my whole life to impact my style? You know what I mean? In basketball, like the lateral movement, you know, the footwork. There's really no stance in basketball. Maybe certain you have a triple threat position and something like that. But if you're dribbling the ball, there's really no stance.
Yeah.
You're constantly switching your feet. You know what I mean? And same thing on defense. You're shuffling at angles. You know what I mean? And so I kind of like started plotting my style early, you know, and the footwork. I've been doing footwork like my whole life, like speed ladder drills and stuff like that. And I was like, this is probably going to give guys problems. And that's when I think when I found it late, because it's considered like you finding it late. There's been a lot of stories that guys find it late and they still have success. But I think the thing for me, when I found it late, it was good for me mentally when I found it. I was in a different place mentally. And so like the stresses that come with fighting, the preparation, you know, the adversity that comes your way, I'm able to deal with it better now as opposed to if I probably found it earlier. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I felt like it was good for me to find it. There's a Nipsey Hussle song and he says, I know perfect timing feels like I'm too late. And that's kind of what I felt whenever I heard that. And I was like, damn, like sometimes it does feel like that. But maybe you were supposed to find it whenever you found it.
Yeah,
You know
not
what I
when you
mean?
wanted
Because
it.
everybody's journey's different at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, so I was just like, you know what? Let me not dwell on that. Like, damn, man, I wish I would have started earlier. I was like, let me make the most of what I got now, the way I think, the mindset that I have. And I'm going to be happy with the results if I just give it my all right now. You know
How
what I'm
much harder is it to make it though?
to make it where? What do you
Like
mean?
to the UFC, to one.
Well,
to
it's
PFL?
tough, man. There's levels. There's fucking killers.
Well, I'm
you
saying
know,
we're starting late though.
starting late. I mean, no, there's still been guys that have still had
There has,
success.
but I'm saying like
yeah,
how much harder is it?
it's harder. I bet if you probably have like little natural talent, if that makes sense. Like there's people that can just pick up something and they've never done in their life and they just do it well.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I think if you have some of that and things come naturally to you, it's probably easier As opposed to you've never done sports, you've never done nothing in your life, and you're 27 and you want to jump into the sport of MMA. That's tough. That's gonna be hard unless you're like a physical specimen, like Francis Ngannou or something. You know what I mean?
A little shoveling.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But if you come from a certain background and stuff, and then you have a passion for the sport or a passion for whatever you're pursuing, it's still gonna be hard. Don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be easier to get to where you want to go because you're willing to go further.
Yeah.
You know, for that.
Oh, that
you know what I mean.
competitive
It's still gonna be
drive.
hard. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's I've heard it's hard to get there, and it's even harder to stay there.
Yeah.
Guys are constantly getting cut. Guys are
Yep.
constantly being let
Cut
go.
every day.
You know, once you get there, and then they say like that's when the work really starts. You know, so that's why I'm saying it's like you got to put a lot into it if you really about it. You
What
know what I
weight
mean?
class are you?
145.
145.
Well, featherweight. Yeah, one featherweight.
Would you ever go up?
I fought up before. I'm
What's the
considering
heaviest?
going down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
135?
135. Yeah.
Is it bantamweight?
Yeah, that's bantamweight. Because I fought at 55 one time on a short notice fight. The guy that was supposed to fight originally wasn't able to fight, but then they had a sub, but he can only make 155. This was like the week of. And I was just like, well, now I'll fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't cut no weight. Like in shape, when I get pretty in shape, I'm already around that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't really have to cut. And but he cut, and then from the weigh-ins to the fight, boy, he really rehydrated. It was stocky. I was like, these 55s are pretty big. You know what I mean? And I still won the fight. You know what I mean? But it goes back to like my style, giving problems and stuff. But I saw like the size. And don't get me wrong, the size and stuff and strength can help you, like especially like in the grappling exchanges and stuff like that. You might have more power and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's pros and cons to like your style, how you do that. You know what I mean? Like like there's guys like Stylebender, for example. He's not the biggest dude. You know, he's fought some jacked motherfuckers. But you're talking about skill and you're talking about technique and distance and managing range and feints and different setups. That's all technique and skill. You know what I mean? So that can overshadow like the physical attributes that somebody has. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, if you got both, shit, you fine. You know what I mean? This dude's will put you to sleep in one shot.
Islam and Volk.
Yeah, exactly.
Both.
Yeah, both. You know what I mean? I think Volk won that fight too, by the way. It was a close fight. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And it's just, sometimes when you're like, two guys are like just like this to each other, it might come down to who got the dog. Or who got more heart.
Yeah.
You got the skill, you got the
about
strength,
it?
you got all this. Well, I got it too. Okay, what's going to be the deciding factor? Or maybe who makes a mistake first, you know? And so, yeah, that's where it's crazy. Like, looks can be deceiving. Like, you can see somebody who looks super jacked, super there, and they get in the cage and they're not, their technique sloppy. And they're just trying to fight.
Yeah.
And just hit hard and every wild. You might have a guy
Yeah.
who doesn't look anything like nothing. You would never be intimidated by them, but their skill and their composure is good, and they're just picking their shots, and it's just nice. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where like I think the skill set is really important. In that.
That's like, you don't really watch UFC like that, but everything you just, you know what I'm saying? Like everything you just, like the 155 division in the UFC, everything you just said is like that whole division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, at least the top 10. Like the top 10 in that division, just like,
they're all good.
they're all good.
They're
They're
all
all
good.
Just like who
Yeah.
messed up or who got the more
Who
dog
fucks
in
up
them.
first?
That's the
Yeah.
crazy part. Is like all it takes is one little mess.
That's the
up.
crazy thing about MMA. That's what makes the sport so crazy. Because like Leon Edwards versus Kamaru, it's like you can be winning the whole fight, and then
That
you
was
mess up one
crazy.
time, and it's boom, you get put to sleep.
That was
But and you have so many more
crazy.
weapons to worry about, right? Because in boxing, it's only you have to worry about the hands.
Yep.
And you could be winning the fight, and you just can cover up high guard and stuff like
Yeah.
that. The MMA, I can hit you with my knee, I can hit you with my feet, my shins, my elbows, you know, fists, you know,
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, a fucking up kick
Roundhouse
down the
kick.
middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And it's just like, boom, they're put to sleep. And it's like, oh, what the hell?
Yep.
And yeah, so it's crazy how, like,
That fight was
different.
Because that fight was boring too. And then
Yeah.
last,
Boom.
Kamara was winning the whole fight. 1 minute left in the fight. Got knocked out.
There was another fight like that recently. Trying to remember who it was.
In the UFC? Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it was in the past few months.
Might have been that one. We're all here watching it.
I
Was
think
it two
No,
black
that was like
guys
last
fighting?
year, though.
Actually, yeah, I
Was
think
it
it
two
was.
black guys fighting?
Yeah, it was.
That was probably that fight.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that match. Still, yeah, it was. Yeah.
But,
It's a crazy sport, man. It's
yeah.
wild. You got to be on your P's and Q's all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not even including the grappling aspect. Yeah,
people
no.
don't like, for amateurs who like are just not getting into the sport
Mm-hmm.
or like only watch fights here and there when it's a big name. They're like, oh, like on the ground. They're like, oh, they're just laying on the ground. Like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
They're working down there. That's just tiring.
No, man, it's exhausting, dude. And that, I mean, that's why like some fights are boring. And don't get me wrong, like I as being have experience in there, like I understand, like even at seeing it from the outside, like it's still boring. You know what I mean? But I do respect how hard like they're working. Like it's really not that easy to hit somebody when they're on the ground and moving and squirming and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then it's tiring at the same time.
Shit, I would say, let alone trying to like fucking make someone tap. Like,
Yeah, it can be tough, but that's where technique comes in because like you can be like squeezing intense and stuff, but if you're relaxed and you're calm and you're not gassing as much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you can be efficient. Like efficiency is like super key in that regard in terms of grappling and knowing where to like transition, when to transition to different positions and stuff like that. But at still the same time, certain fights for MMA, it could be kind of boring if you get stagnant. Like you see guys on the cage and they're holding them on the cage. That shit's exhausting. Like for both parties, for both parts. But it's just like, come on, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, a little more.
hit that man, dude.
It's a constant just go 5 minutes.
It's even worse too. Like they'll like putting on their body weight on you. Like they're just trying to do it to tire you out. Like,
And then there's certain guys that know how to like, you know, put pressure on you when you're breathing, when you're exhaling, and you know, keep grinding you out. And then you're getting punched to the body. Now you're getting tired. Then you get punched to the face. Damn, and I have to constantly defend. Now you're getting tired. And now I still have to get back up. You know?
And then still try to fight this dude.
And still try to strike with this man. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a constant like battle. You know what I mean? That's why some like the best guys, some of the not the best guys, but some of the best guys mix it up really well. They're not super good at this or super good at this, but they're good at mixing everything up in MMA. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then it works to their advantage, you know?
So you're talking about like technique earlier. What's something that like was really hard for you to learn like yourself that you like?
Probably wrestling, dude. Wrestling was tough.
This shit's hard.
Just because it's a grind, bro. It's like a straight grind. That's what it was. Because like I didn't know how to wrestle, like you know, like technique wise. And so it was kind of it was tough mentally and physically. But that was the hard part, was like constantly getting taken down and drilling and then getting back up, constantly taking down and drilling back up. But then it's like you could be the best striker like in the world, like, but if you don't know how to defend a takedown, it's just like, well, then that nullifies your striking like technique, you know? And that's when I was like, well, fuck, if I want to be good on the feet, certain fights, maybe I know I could pick this dude apart on the feet, and he's just trying to take me down. Well, I have to stuff takedowns. I have to know how to defend single legs, double legs, how to get back up, or you know what I mean? In certain fights, I might be that guy to try to take you down, mix you up. So there's certain things and fundamentals that I focused on, you know, when I was learning, especially getting into MMA, the wrestling aspect, how important it is. Like, especially for MMA, that's like the biggest equalizer you can do. There's no really other sport that implements a takedown outside of like Sambo probably. But yeah, it could just be the equalizer. And then you don't even have to get success from it. But now that you're thinking about it, now you can't really probably extend as much as you want. Now you're a little bit more tentative. You know what I mean? And that's when that chess match starts coming. You're like, damn, this guy's gonna shoot. Oh, he hasn't shot.
You can fucking take me down.
Yeah, and then boom, I go to throw like a combo, boom, now I get shot on, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, when it's really good when you know how to mix things up. It's good for like, you know, but that was, going back to your question, that's probably one of the hardest things, because it was just like, bro, I remember getting Shark Tank one time. That was probably one of the hardest sessions I've had. Like Shark Tank is when you stay in, and then you're getting fresh guys. And we were doing like a 30-second round, but it was like score a takedown, score a takedown. It was like 8-10 people. I stayed in.
Yeah.
I remember, and I tell people this all the time. Don't look at the clock on the rounds. And I remember looking at that bitch. I was like,
Damn.
I remember getting pushed off the mat. And I was like, oh God. And
Alright,
it didn't
he's
stop.
done.
It didn't stop until like I got to take down like 10 rounds in. And I was just like, once I got it, I just like laid there and I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was like, but I remember learning a lot about myself just in those like couple minutes. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is what it's gonna be like. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Well, because it's like a regular fight, amateur and regular like pro. You got 9 minutes to 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And then pro is 15 normal fight, and then 25. You know, so like the time of the rounds goes up. Yeah. It's crazy.
How the fuck?
It's crazy. But once you get more experience, you know how to be calm. You know how to stay composed. You don't get as tired as fast. You know,
That gas tank.
yeah, that gas tank it keeps you good. You know, but yeah, it's not going wild. Hey, but there's motherfuckers that just go in there, guns blazing. You know, it's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. There's some fighters that I've seen like early on, like in amateur ranks, they're just not good. but I'd watch you fight again.
Entertaining.
Yeah,
check-
like bro, they're
You
just
get your
going
technique,
out.
You be straight.
Yeah, you know, and if you're not like a nerd on the technique and stuff like that, like appreciate it, you just want to see a fight.
Yeah.
That's how entertaining. Bloody and just exchanging. And you're like, okay, man.
Oh, yeah,
check.
going crazy.
I'm getting all hyped too. Like, oh, let's go.
Motherfucker has no idea.
Yeah. Exactly, and you just gotta find your style. Maybe that works for you, But yeah.
Going back a little, you said you had trained with one of your one of your inspirations. How was that? And
Bro,
who was that again?
Bro, that was surreal, man. That was like one of the most only surreal moments I've had. Like, his name's Eddie Abasello. He's a super high level Muay Thai fighter. He fights at One Championship. He actually fights this Friday, in One Championship.
Oh, shit.
And One Championship is like a big organization, like in like China, like on that side of the world.
Okay.
Oh,
And
shit.
but they still get like U.S. guys. But One
Yeah.
Championship, they have MMA, they have Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. They have a lot more like arts that they put on like display. You know what I mean? And like UFC is just MMA. You know what I mean? So One Championship, they're gonna be coming up like soon, man. But yeah, man, it was crazy because like it's like things that have happened where I feel like come full circle in my life, and that was like one of them. Because I remember like when I started training, like especially Muay Thai, like soon after I like began like my journey, I started training Muay Thai, and then I started like watching Muay Thai fights, studying different guys and stuff. And I remember seeing one of his fights, and he had the braids. He had like a different style to his Muay Thai that wasn't like any other guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to watch this guy. And so I started watching his fights, started taking little things from his style. And then Coach Betzebe,
Yeah.
she sent me a reel one time on Instagram. She's like, hey, this guy reminds me, you have kind of a similar style like him. I'm like, Coach, I've been studying this guy for like years now.
This is
Yeah.
my
You know what I mean? Like,
That's amazing.
And she was like, well, I'm thinking about bringing him down for a seminar and stuff. I'm like, no way, Coach, this isn't happening, And then, so then anyways, fast forward, he came down. I think it was his first time in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Because he's from like California. And he came down and then got to work with him like privately. And then it wasn't even like one of the biggest things I took away from it. It wasn't even about like the techniques that we learned, which is still fucking badass. It was more about like the conversations that we had, like the before and after.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like he was telling me an experience he had like with one of his inspirations that he had whenever he was coming up. And he was like, yeah, man, it felt crazy. He was like, yo, I could touch you right now. And he touched my shoulder. He was like, but this is what he was thinking. Like whenever he was meeting him, he was just like, bro, I was like, man, I could touch you right now. This is real, right? And he's doing the same thing to me. And I'm like in my mind, like, bro,
Oh my God,
this
he's
is really
touching me
happening
right
right
now.
now. Of course, like I was cool, like it was chill,
Don't be weird, bro.
Yeah, he was a super cool dude.
But you can touch me.
But that was the one moment I'm like, bro, this is really happening right now. I remember like in my head, like
It's
thinking
kinda
about
cool,
that.
kinda
You like
funny.
went third person and
Yeah,
shit?
literally. I'm like, yo, this is really happening. What you say?
I was saying, like, it's kind of cool and kind of funny. Like, they experience. I can't talk. What's your favorite
Fair question.
It's funny that they experience the same thing though. Like they're like, damn, they know how you feel because it's like I was you once. Like,
yeah,
kind of thing.
and
It's
then
kinda
it was cool because like he just dropped like a lot of game on me, a lot of wisdom, just things like outside of the fighting, like different ways of thinking. You know what I mean? Going at your own rhythm, going at your pace, and not just in fighting, but just in life and stuff. And it was cool, like some of the stuff that he told me, and I was like, damn, this is crazy, man. And yeah, just from hearing somebody that like I've looked up to, in my journey, and it was just like, okay. And then I remember leaving, and I'm like, this just feels weird right now.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, and that's what exactly. I was like, this feels weird right now. Like, but it felt like stuff came full circle. Yeah. And then like certain things like that have happened where I'm like, maybe this was what I was supposed to do. Maybe I'm supposed to find this.
Yeah.
Later or earlier, But I was like, you know what? I'm just like, I'm at the right spot, And yeah, that was one of those moments where I was like, damn. I was like, that cool dude, man. Cool ass dude. Yeah, bro. Like literally, the first thing came up to us. Never met him before. He's like, bro, he talked. He's like, bro, how y'all doing? Like, like mentally, like, you know what I mean? And, like, you don't ever get asked that, right? You don't ever get asked that, And he's like, how y'all doing mentally? Like, what's going on with y'all's head? Like, how you thinking and stuff like that. And just like off the rip, right? And I'm like, damn.
How am I doing mentally?
Right? Have you ever asked that question to you?
Question.
That's a good thing to ask yourself every now and then.
It is.
Have a
honestly.
conversation with you, journal about it, do something. keep yourself centered, and it's like good like mental health too for you.
It
you know.
is, yeah.
But yeah, that was just one thing, and I'm like, damn, this dude's cool as fuck. You know what I mean? It's in high level, like Muay Thai, high level fighter. You know. And yeah, but it was cool. That was one of the cool experiences I've had so far. And yeah, shout out Eddie Abasolo. Shout out Eddie Abasolo.
Another thing that since we were talking about your gym, who is a gym that you do represent?
Black Widow MMA. And Coach Betsebe Esparza, leads Muay Thai, and then Coach Oliver Taza, and then Jay Chang. All good people, high level guys, and females as well.
Yeah.
And just good people too in general. Yeah. But Black Widow MMA here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. And how did you come along finding them? Like
They're close by my house where I was living. Literally, because I moved here. And I was looking, that was like the first thing you had to look for, right? So I tried a few gyms, right? And then I remember driving by it on my way from work. Driving by it, seeing it open all the time and late at night. And then I was like, okay, well, let me go try it out. Tried it out. And then literally what I remember thinking about, I was just like, well, if anything happens and I have no transportation or nothing, I could still make it to the gym. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Right, and I was like, so there's no excuse, like really though. You know what I mean?
It's a good mentality.
Like if gym was 30 minutes away, I'm like, damn, I gotta take the bus, I gotta do this. And I was like, well, if anything happens,
I can
traffic.
no job to hit the fucking everything happens, I'm like, I can still go to the gym. That's
true.
Right.
You know?
Walk,
and so
ride
that
a
was kind of
bike,
what it was, you know, and it was close by and it was a cool environment too. And even when I got there, it wasn't that many fighters. There were still guys that competed and stuff like that, but it was just a cool environment. But I stayed because it was Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, of course, and MMA. And MMA was the main thing I was getting into. But there was guys that were better than me there. And so I was like, I know I'm still gonna get good work in. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it was close by, you know. And so, I've been there for a while now, man.
How is it to be able to pick someone's brain as like Taz? Like just to have someone at
That man's an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Shout out Taza, man, Oliver Taza. Yeah. An encyclopedia. And that's what I've always, you know, been drawn towards people like that. Especially for like any combat sport or anything is like a detail in anything, or details just in general within a technique, or details within, and every like art or everything that people do in life has like their own language. You know, like in podcasting or editing or something like that. You might tell me something like, what did you say? What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, you're in that realm. You're in that space. You know what I'm saying? So when people have like their love, passion for something is important to me. Like, you know, if I can feel how passionate you are something, then boom, man, I already respect you for it, you know? And yeah, Taza is just a freaking encyclopedia, you know, when it comes to breaking down techniques. And he's learned from the best too. You know what I mean? Trains with high level guys, has a super high level coach, one of the best arguably in the sport of jiu-jitsu. And dude, like any technique and breaking down, there's so many variations of one thing, and I'm just like going crazy. I'm just like, this is wild. That's when you hear the levels, you know what I mean? Levels. And yeah, but super grateful for him too, being at the gym now and stuff like that, helping me out. So yeah, man, shout out Taza.
Okay.
But, yeah, dude.
You said we had some questions from the fans.
We did.
What the fans got, man?
Yeah,
Shout out
We
fans,
did a little
man.
post earlier in
Yes,
the
sir.
evening.
Shout out to Zay. You know, I put one of the pictures he took actually from your title fight.
Hell yeah.
And I just asked, what questions do y'all have for him? And a couple we got. Shout out to Cam, Opinionated Media. He actually asked, does he plan on ever fighting in any additional weight classes? I think you might have talked about it earlier. but-
Yeah, man, it's been a thought for a while now. Because I fight at 145, and that's a natural. I feel a more natural weight class for me. I still have to cut, but it's not a tough cut for me. I still eat pretty good. I don't have to really be. I'm still disciplined, but it's not like super strict. You know what I mean? Eating clean, eating healthy, but I've been thinking about going down to 135, which is a weight class below. And that would have to be probably like a lifestyle change for me. You know, walking around a certain weight year round, you know what I mean? Being way more disciplined, being more strict on the diet. And if I have to cross that bridge when I get there, you know, if I feel that's the right move, then I'll make it. But I just feel good at this weight. I feel, you know, it's just more, I don't want to say comfortable because it's not. You know, you still gotta cut weight. You still gotta do that.
You still gotta,
It's just it feels better, you know. And I've thought about that a lot because I've seen a lot of fighters. They do better when they go up a weight class because they were like depleting themselves to make a weight that was tough for them. You know what I mean? And then whenever they go up, they feel better and they perform better and they have more success. So that's crossed my mind a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what would be the heaviest weight class you would consider.
Just this one, 45.
The 45.
Yeah. If I had to fight at 55, I had to get a lot bigger, a little stronger.
The bricks
Yeah,
and
you
shit
know
like
what I
that.
mean? It's just like how I said earlier, like sometimes like, you know, the weight wouldn't play a factor, but as you get higher level and all these dudes are good, grappling exchanges, you know, feeling somebody's strength, pinning you down or putting you against the cage and things like that, or getting up from somebody, you know, that's a lot bigger. You know, some guys rehydrate 20 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so you might weigh in
water
at
weight.
155, shooting, you walk in the cage, 170 something, you know, or bigger, 180, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah, some guys put a lot of weight
You're
on.
like, hey, you did not look like that this morning.
Yeah,
bro.
I was like, yo, yesterday you were not that big.
Yeah.
But like I still focus like on the skill, you know. But if you got some size and some strength on you, shoot, you can just add that onto your skill, your technique, and everything. It's gonna help you. That's why a lot of guys cut weight, and some guys like will be like a weight bully in their weight classes because when they rehydrate, they're way bigger than the guy that they're fighting. And you know, it's like if you were like, would you rather fight like a teenager? Like a 12-year-old, 10-year-old, or would you fight like a grown ass man? You're probably gonna fight the smaller guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
don't know
And
me.
that's why that's some people's views is like want to be the bigger guy.
Yeah.
And because it has its advantages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some guys when they cut a lot of weight, it's kind of depleting on their body because you don't fully rehydrate in 24 hours. If you cut a lot of weight, it takes you longer. You know, and you got fluid in your brain, so you can't take a shot as much. You know, so there's a lot of things and variables
thought
that
about that.
play into it. You
Yeah.
know. And but it just depends, you know. But there are guys that could do it right, you know. You can hire nutritionists, you get things on lock, and so it's not that much of a big deal. It's still gonna suck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some guys you see them in person, you're like, how in the hell did you make that weight? Like, bro, I've seen guys that are huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? This dude fought at this weight? I'm like, damn. And so I think about it sometimes. I'm like, damn, dude, that'd be a tough motherfucking fight sometimes. But I was like, fuck it, let's do it anyway. You know? But no, so to answer your question, I would consider going down to 135, and that's probably about it. Either staying where I'm at right now or at 135. But ooh, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
I got you.
But, yeah.
So he actually asked another question as well. He asked, what does he specialize in, stand-up or ground game?
More so stand up, you know, but I've been training jiu-jitsu for a while. I just feel a little more comfortable on the feet, especially like footwork, switching stances, feints, you know what I mean? But I do feel comfortable on the ground too, you know, especially working with a guy like Oliver Taza now and stuff like that. I've worked with a lot of high level grapplers too before, especially like when I was doing gi. But yeah, I want to feel comfortable wherever the fight goes. But if I had to prefer, I'd rather keep it on the feet, you know. But just be ready for whatever. You know, always prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like in the sport as well, like you kind of have to prepare for anything.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
Of
yeah.
course, like you have what you would prefer, but like you can probably do.
Yeah,
either.
man,
Or, like,
it's like
I think
like-
you said it when Zach was interviewing you at the end of the night. I think you had said that you were like, yeah, like, you know, I kind of was like expecting to be on the feet, but like he was giving me like his body to go to the ground, I think. So
Yeah.
we are taking it.
felt it was easier to control and
Yeah,
to
so-
call it an audible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my thing, is like it's really like kind of unpredictable sometimes. It's unexpected. Like you might start in the center, striking exchange, you land a shot, boom, boom. Now we're on the cage, boom, boom, boom. Try to take you down, defend it. Now you're back over here on the other side of the cage. And then it's all these sequences happening, right? And it's just like you could not have predicted this, and that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to prepare for everything. It's for the MMA. You know what I mean? My opinion, you know. But don't get me wrong. There's still guys that are specialists, and like you know what guys are gonna do, and they still you prepare for them not to do it. They still do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's how you
that's
know
a
they're
level. You
different.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So there's some guys that are just different. You know. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we have a last question, but I have a question that I'll probably ask you as well. From Tavian, shout out to the boy. He said, "How often does he train a week?"
Oh, now I train full time. Yeah,
40 hours a week?
Work myself. Challenge.
What's for
Shoot, now damn. I mean,
casual
in camp it's a lot.
Okay.
Outside of like camp, I'm still training all the time. You know, basically every day.
Yeah. Is it like 2-a-days? Type
Like
shit?
if I'm in camp, yeah, it'll be a 2-a-day. Even now, like outside of camp, I try to do a 2-a-day too. You know, but if I'm I listen to my body now too, you know, because if you're going hard, injuries, and then you don't take care of that injury, then another one happens, and then now you're playing catch up to try to get your body back to where it was, you know. So now I do a good job of listening to my body because that's something I did not do when I was younger.
I feel like that's just a part of becoming
like
I've
you said,
of your body, you know.
Bro, I had so many injuries growing up. That's another topic that we can get into. I
was gonna ask that you were bringing.
Man, I had so many injuries growing up. That's why it's like whatever I go through now, like physically or like injury wise, it's like I'm gonna be back. It's gonna be nothing, you know. I've built like a resilience, not only for like my body but my mind too. Yeah. And just staying the course and not being negative, you know, finding some positive and just staying, you know, in the moment. It's like, okay, that happened. Okay, it already happened. Yeah. There ain't no point of dwelling in it. Yeah, it already happened. You know, you can't dwell on something that, okay, it was negative or bad for sure, but it already happened. So just let it go. Now what's the next step? You know, so now I've done a good job of thinking, how can I continue to get better in different aspects, or maybe it still is fighting, you know. So I do a pretty good job of listening to my body and not driving it down to the ground. I've had a lot of injuries, still have injuries that I'm still fighting with, but I do a pretty good job of that. But like training weekly, man, I try to do like sometimes I do a 2 a day. During camp, I've done 3 days before.
Dang.
But
and this is like 7 days a week.
Yeah, usually, man.
Really?
There's the times I'm like, damn, kind of tired.
Yeah,
right?
But it's a part of it, right? Like,
do they let you sleep there?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, you still want to feel good, like we're for the fight.
Yeah.
But you also want to work hard, but don't. I mean, I don't want to say to work too hard. You're still working hard, but work smart at the same time too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys go in there and they're hurt, they're banged up. You know what I mean? If you can minimize them, if you can minimize it, you know. But that's the thing of recovery too. Recovery is super important too to the sport. You know, especially longevity wise. You know, going to your fight healthy as you can as possible. And but yeah, like sometimes I try to do like a 2 a day. Maybe I'll mix it up. I might do my striking lunch, grappling at night, or vice versa. Or maybe I might do a long session at night. Sometimes I'll be at the gym like from like 4 to 10. I've been there before.
Damn.
You know, like I'll teach like the kids class.
Yeah.
And then training right after.
Oh, really?
1 session, then 2 sessions, and I might stay a little bit, and then I'll leave the gym like at like 10 sometimes.
Wait, so you say you teach the kids class?
Yeah, at least the youth kids.
Some badass little kids every now and then.
Yeah, man. You know, shout out those kids, man. Test my patience.
Yeah.
Well, what's the age range?
Start at 5, and then I think to like 12, 13-ish. I'm not too sure about the teenage years, you know, but I know we start at 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's been another growth part. Being patient and not understanding different teaching. It's different from you might be able to fight to teaching. Coach. Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
It's different.
And there's in any sport. There's been good basketball players, you know what I mean, that were top of the game, and they go to coaching, they just didn't do as good.
Can't do it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a little different.
Yeah, man, but it's helped me out a lot in terms of patience, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, sometimes I change it up, training routine. Always training. Sometimes I do 1 session if my body's kind of beat up, you know what I mean? But yeah, sometimes 3 days, sometimes 2 days. 1 or just 1 long session at night. Yeah, I like a night owl. I'm kind of like a night owl, I've noticed. Yeah. I'd rather go to the gym like at 10:30, 11 than like at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Don't get me wrong, I have done that before. Like, I'll get up to train, but I ain't a morning person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be struggling getting in.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
The alarm goes off. It's like snooze.
Do I need to go right now?
Like buy 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You ever done that? You know, it goes off and you just hit the volume or something.
Dude, that shit today when I went to work this morning. Like,
Dude, that shit every day.
It happens, man.
It's something I need to get better at too, man. Sometimes I do it and I was like, damn, if I'd have got up just earlier, I would have been. I would wouldn't have been rushing or something.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
It's just like we can always get better at that too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, sometimes the training is pretty tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to listen to my body too.
Yeah.
So, but if I could go good, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I feel sore, banged up, kind of listen to it a little bit more. Yeah, because a lot of injuries I've had, dude, a lot.
Gotcha.
So I've learned from being stubborn. It's not always the best.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I actually will end it off this little part with a question that I have for you. So, you know, appreciate you for having us for one at the fight.
No, for sure, man. Thank y'all again, man, for coming, man.
Being able to
Much
get
love.
a little behind the scenes shots of you, and you know, we really appreciate, you know, the love that you show, and like, you know, just because you kind of understand it, you know.
Yeah,
like,
for
you,
sure,
you
man.
see the, you know, like a little behind the scenes for us as well. So you know, try to reciprocate the same type of energy, you
Most
know.
definitely.
But what can we do for you to help you grow into become a star that you already are? You know, like what can we do to help you?
Get you to where
Man,
you
dude,
wanna be.
honestly, man, just keep doing what y'all doing, man. Honestly, like we want to talk about this, you know, y'all become like one of my official sponsors, and just any content, pictures, like bro, like if y'all have already been doing it, you know what I mean. If you love to do it, that was gonna be one of my questions to y'all.
Okay.
Is like I'll ask this after.
Yeah, we
but,
ask after. Yeah.
I'll ask, yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Content, people love content. You know what I mean? People like to see it. It's gonna help y'all too.
Yeah.
You know, all it takes for somebody to see, like, oh, who recorded this? Who took this picture? Who's this and that?
Yeah.
And like people start talking. You know what I mean? And then boom, maybe that was just what you needed, that one thing. You know what I mean? And I like to see it too, man. Like how I was telling y'all earlier before we started, I was like, yo, there were some things I saw and I didn't even remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, seeing it kind of brought me back into that mindset. I was like, dang, like what y'all got with my mom, that picture.
Yeah.
I like forgot, like I forgot about that moment. Like I remember the picture, but like I was like, oh, bro, I forgot about that.
And then we
dude.
got you in the back as you saw it.
Yeah,
too.
that's what it
So
is. I'm
was
like,
a
yo,
good,
because I
like-
remember, y'all asked me a question, right? And I was like, yeah, bro. And then I saw it, I was like, yo, what's
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
bro? I just remember because I don't be emotional like that.
Yeah.
But like with my mom, my family,
Of course.
that just hit different,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, let me not get emotional right now.
No,
Let me not get
yeah,
emotional.
hey, yeah. I wouldn't.
Might have been
blame
good for the content. I should have let some
you.
tears
Hey,
out.
man, hey, I wouldn't blame you, man.
Next
Nah,
time.
but-
Next time.
Yeah, next
Nah,
time.
I just keep it genuine, man. And
Yeah.
that was like a genuine moment for me seeing that. And I was just like, yeah, because I be private too. I'm a pretty private person.
Yeah, of course.
But that was just like a good moment, you know, for me too. Yeah, just cause like you know, like that was for her too. That was for my mom too, and everybody back home. Like, I mean, you saw it, man, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like wild, you know. So as I was saying, I don't just do it for me, man. I'm trying to do something like I realized like I can maybe do something that can impact a lot of people, you know, especially being from a small town, small community, and things like that. And I was like, man, if I can just give back in any way that I can. You know, even if it's just inspiring somebody just to go for something, you know what I mean? Regardless of maybe they're listening to people and saying they can't do this and that. And I'm like, no, if I can, you know, maybe give them that little push, I'm like, bet. That would mean the world to me, man. You know what I mean? Belts are cool and wins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes to you, man, I appreciate what you're doing, man. That's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
It hits home, bro.
Yeah,
Especially because
man.
like you are making a difference, you know. Like and like I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. You know,
Yeah, I try not
obviously-
to. I mean, I
you
keep
try not to
level-headed.
Stay a little level-headed,
Yeah.
but like you can tell. You know what I mean? Like all those people were out there for you. You know.
Yeah,
man.
man. And you had the whole fucking village out there.
Yeah.
Literally, man. It was a
Yeah.
village,
Bro,
man.
it was-
Yeah. Shout out all my supporters, family back home, Uvalde, man. They saw it. They saw
Yeah,
us.
they
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah.
But
Y'all
yeah,
out
man,
there,
that meant a
man.
lot. You know what I mean? And I could feel it too, like the energy.
Yeah.
Like and they know it
Yeah.
too. So that's why
Yeah.
they be all like wild.
Yes,
you know.
dude,
Bro,
it's
that
great.
place was electric.
It was
whenever I
nice.
was
Yeah.
And
I'm
Them
glad
cheering
we
your
were-
name and all that.
Yeah, I'm glad
yeah.
we were able to catch all that. Like, you know, obviously Zay was taking pictures, but I was the one that was like recording your
Recording
family.
everything,
And,
yeah,
bro,
man.
I was so hyped.
Got some
like,
good
with
shots,
you.
bro.
Man,
Good
appreciate
shot.
it, man. Like I said, I just want to be able to, you know, that's why I asked that question. You know, I want to be able to just to help you through what you're, you know, trying to get to the wherever point you're trying to get to in your career. You know what I mean? And like whatever it is, like let us know. You know what I
No,
mean?
most
Like,
definitely, man.
without a
And,
doubt,
and
like,
same thing, man. I'm shooting it right back to y'all, man. If y'all ever need anything from me, man, just holler at me. You know.
Yeah.
You know, just communication, man, and we'll just keep going.
Yeah,
Just keep
we'll
going,
definitely have to
man.
give you some of this merch and do little photo
Yeah,
shoots.
most
and stuff.
definitely,
Yeah,
bro.
with the belt
Yeah,
on it.
bro.
Yeah.
Let's start doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
That'd be
plan
dope.
stuff out. Yeah, we got that coming soon, guys.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
And,
And then Fabian hit us up when when Alex did the trailer for Texas Clash.
yeah, when he did
The Forever.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. That was almost gonna be one of my walkout songs too.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, cause sometimes I'd be like kind of visualizing like how I feel when
Yeah.
I hear the song, cause I like songs that build up.
Yeah.
And then it drops, and then you know, like
That's
it's
crazy.
that's forever.
He chose that.
Yes, bro.
Because he obviously he wasn't there. He was out of town, I think. And then we're just like, hey, like edit it, like however you think, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
this.
But
is
you
like,
went to the Kingsville, right?
Yeah, he
he
went
was
to the
like,
one
yeah,
in
yeah, I
Kingsville.
remember,
So he
yeah.
kind of like saw it before, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's cool once the right song hits, and it's kind of like and so I'll be like kind of juggling songs, whatever I feel. I'll be in the car just riding. And
Yeah,
then-
I was gonna
and I'll
ask
be
you,
listening.
how do you decide that, like what song you want to walk?
Like
out
I'll
to?
have to like feel something.
Really?
Because I'll be visualizing it, and if I feel something, like, cause I'm in the back and kind of in the mindset, right? Of course, I'm not in the exact same mindset, but I try to put myself in that that like position, right? And then so whenever I feel something, I'm visualizing how I feel. Because I don't like to be, when I walk out, I don't like to be too hyped. You know, too aggressive. You know, I like to be like calm, like and cool. You know, and so some like a song that might get me like, you know, like swaggy type feeling. You know,
I feel
but
that.
there's been songs where I hear and I'm like, oh, this will be crunk. Like this. I've like tested Lil Jon songs and like some of those old school crunk songs, and I'm like,
what did you do this past one?
just coming out like this.
The past fight, what song did you choose?
The O was Zoom by Boozy. And just because like one of my friends had posted a story and he had posted that, and I've been contemplating that song for a while now. Cause that's just an old school song, banger, right? Yeah. And but I was like, I remember I was rocking the Jordan shirt, the jersey. I had the J's on,
the J's.
and fresh pair of J's. I hit the club stand with a fresh pair of shades, and I was like, yo, this is kind of describing my fit right now. And I was like, this feels right. And then once the drop comes on, cause the opening of the song is just like, oh, I was like, okay, this feels right. Yeah. And it just kind of happened like that, you know. And so sometimes it'd be like that, but majority of the time it's just like I kind of like literally put a lot of thought and feel into it, you know, because I like when you want to feel something, you know, and it's like, and I'll be watching some of the old school cold like walkouts, not even old school, but just like who had like some like nice walkouts where you got chills like on pay-per-views and stuff. You're like, oh, I can't wait, you know.
Yeah, it's about to be lit.
Yeah, that's kind of how it be, man. But yeah, I try to I like things that drop. Builds up and then drops.
If I was a fighter,
what would your walkout song be?
Okay, that's a good question to be asking there.
That is a great question.
All right, so you kind of put this in the video, but it would be.
Put me in, coach. I remember when you said that.
No, it would be. It's off of Heroes and Villains, the very first thing that has a Homelander. It has a Homelander clip in it.
Oh,
I think I'd
the
have
one when you're warming up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, superhero. Yeah.
I think I'd have them like walking out to that. I was like, I'm tired. It's like, and then literally it plays into the next song. I think
that's a banger. Hell yeah.
Do that.
What about you, Zay?
Shit, it would have to be some Travis Scott, personally.
Yeah.
Old school? Old Travis?
Oh, yeah, definitely something off of Rodeo.
Ooh.
Going and playing on Sloppy Toppy, you did? No.
That's what I was thinking. Sloppy Toppy, bro.
No, low key, I would do like Mamacita or something, bro. Yes, bro.
Yeah, crazy.
Bro, yeah, that would probably be my same type of vibe too, bro. That's probably like Travis or maybe. I was thinking like maybe a Kanye song, like a hype one. I just can't think of one.
Power.
There's a few.
Power.
There's a few. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
Kanye, bro. Old school Kanye. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Probably go Black Skinhead out there.
Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah. That's literally like a walkout song. Yeah. That would probably be crazy. Hell yeah.
What would yours be?
That's what.
Sorry.
It's short-term memory.
In my defense, literally, as soon as I said that, like I finished saying that, literally, I was like, I fucked
Realize
up.
what-
I fucked up.
You can't do that on this podcast.
And sometimes I'll be thinking I'll be like timing it. Sometimes I'll be looking at the time and I'm like, okay, this will take 20 seconds to drop or 10 seconds to drop. Or if it takes a long ass intro before it drops, I'm like, that kind of might be too long. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I kind of put a lot of thought in it, but it starts from the feel. You know?
Question with that. Are you able to tell them that basically, hey, I want this song to start it at this time, or they're just like, hey?
No, they've the past couple promotions. It's just like they'll give you like the day before or then the day of. They'll give you like a card and you write down everything that they want to say. Like, well, it'll have like a list of stuff to like write, like your name, fight name, record, so and so. Is the nickname before or middle, you know, and then it'll be like your walkout song at the end, at the bottom. You know what I mean? And so that's pretty much it. But I don't know. Maybe if you cool with the dude and you're like, oh yeah, the DJ, can you play it at 5 seconds or 22 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, like what if
Bro,
they
that
start,
actually happened
I
in
want the
Kingsville,
second
man.
half of Superhero to go into the next.
They're gonna start the second verse of 3 minutes. You know what I mean? But that actually happened at one of my fights, and I was like, I wanted the original version, but they gave me the different version, and then it was still fire.
I was just about to
but
ask
there was
that,
a build up that I like, and then
Yeah.
it didn't happen on that. You know what I mean?
Like
I'm
you're expecting a certain song and you
started
walk
quicker.
out and it's like
I'm a
damn.
Barbie girl. And a Barbie, and you're like, fuck, I
there
gotta
was
go
actually-
with it.
There was actually a UFC fighter. I don't know if y'all familiar with Mike Perry. He's a UFC fighter. He fights with
Yeah.
bare knuckle, and one of his fights, I think it might have been during the COVID. They had it at the Apex, right? And he requested the Halo song from Xbox.
Yeah.
But they put on Halo by
Beyonce.
Beyonce. Yes, bro. No, but he's such a character,
Zach
bro.
loves that song.
I love that song. I love that song.
That's Zach's
Let me
walkout.
preface
Hey.
this by saying we used to be roommates in San Marcos. This man, that
Brush
was
his
like,
teeth to it or
bro,
something?
that's his like morning shower.
Yes, literally. Okay, I had
Taking
I
a
had
shit,
Hell
and
yeah.
he's choosing that song to play right there.
Oh, bro, I got a funny story for you. Okay, well, no, keep going.
So like literally like I was going through the time I'm like, I want to wake up and feel good like kind
Yeah.
of thing. I was like, I'm in a feel good kind of mood. So literally I had it like on my like Bluetooth speaker. So literally his bathroom backed up to my bathroom.
Yeah, so
It's
we
like
could-
that.
yeah.
So literally like we share the wall like basically like right
Yeah.
behind like the shower. So it's like basically if any time he played music, I heard it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So literally, he got on my ass one time. It was kind of funny because also I got like dressed, I walk out of my room like that, and he had his door open. He's like, "Oh, it's like you like that song, huh?"
That was a banger,
It's
bro.
a good song.
I just wasn't expecting it, you know? Like, cause like you hear it, like we're playing, like we're listening to like Travis, we're listening
Yeah.
to like
Kanye,
like
Drake,
Raging shit,
yeah.
Way
you know?
different vibe.
Different vibe. So like I just
Yeah.
was unexpected. But,
Yeah.
like, it is a good song. It's just
Yeah.
like I wasn't expecting Zach to.
It's not
listen
like
to that.
upgrade you or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy in love or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
He's like, "Damn, you're actually different." Like,
It's Halo, Drunken Love. like,
partition.
Hey, that's my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I like Partition
Yeah, that's a
too.
good song. That's a good beat to it.
Oh no! So going back to that Beyonce, I had a friend. I'm not gonna say his name. 'Cause I'm not gonna put him on blast like that. But I had a friend when we was younger, like playing basketball. Might have been too much. But he had a funny pregame routine, and his song he had to listen to because he had like a superstition. He had a really good game one time, and he had listened to a particular song before the game. We were young, we were kids, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, "No, I gotta listen to this song every time." You know what I mean? Because I had a good performance, and so he started listening to "Single Ladies" by Beyonce before every game. You know what I mean? Oh, Single Ladies.
That's a good song.
Hey, he was like, "Put my hands up," and he started hitting threes.
And that's what we always give him shit. Like after that, you're like, "Bro,
That's
remember when you
hilarious.
do this?" You're like, "Bro, shut up." That was
like,
a long
"Stop,
time
bro."
ago, man. And I was like, "But that's a banger too." She got
That is
hella
a banger.
bangers though.
Beyonce
Hey.
goes crazy, man.
Queen B, bro.
Is that your favorite female artist?
Ooh.
Or no, is it different? That's a good
Honestly,
one.
That is a great
That
question.
is a very good question. Because honestly,
Like
I
female
don't-
artist could be any genre or anything.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki,
She goes
Yeah,
crazy.
she goes crazy, bro.
Barbie,
Yeah. He's a barb. He's a barb for sure.
Barb for sure. Yeah.
That's a good. Who's your favorite female artist?
Bro, I don't even know to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's
But
a
I
good-
was thinking like probably either like because Beyonce's kind of like she's like pop,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like she'd probably be like my number one in terms of that
Yeah.
genre. You know, but if we're talking like rap, that's tough. I be liking a lot of these new rappers. Sometimes some of
Really?
them, yeah. You
Cardi
know.
B goes
but,
crazy.
But I like Nicki just because like she
Yeah.
was like an OG to me.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like-
that's why
you
she was one of
know
the
what I mean?
first.
she's
Yeah,
like the
bro.
first, yeah.
Bro, especially coming
I
up
mean,
with like Young Money and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, because like I'm a huge Drake fan. Drake's
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy.
Wayne,
Yeah.
how many
You know
huge
what I mean?
Wayne fans?
Bro,
Yeah.
Drake gives him props all the time because Wayne's one of the goats to me. Honestly.
Oh,
Bro,
absolutely.
like for sure one of the goats.
Yeah.
Like you look at his like catalog, it's like okay, come on, how did you
Yeah.
not do
He was
this?
like
It's like
rapping,
that.
he was
It's like that
14.
meme of Kobe,
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
where he has all those trophies.
Championships.
Yes,
bro.
You know, but
Carter
probably-
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bro, and that's not even the mixtapes.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, exactly,
Sometimes the
bro.
Carters, that's somebody's career right there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And then the mixtapes is like,
Dude,
Bro,
come
you can
on,
only
bro.
get-
Every
You
time I
can't
heard
miss.
that
You can't miss
lighter
with those.
flick in the beginning, I was like, "It's a banger." I
It's
know
about to go
it.
crazy right
About
now.
to
It's about to go
spit
crazy.
bars.
But yeah, I love Nicki, you know, in terms of rap, you know, but I also love Meg, the Stallion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love Meg, Cardi
Hey,
too.
H-Town too,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Come on.
Bro, I love
Texas
Houston rap,
represent,
bro. I be
man.
listening to like Mike Jones, Paul Wall, you know,
Yo,
Slim Thug,
R.I.P.
all of those, bro.
The recently that just passed away.
oh yeah, Drake just sent
Lil
some.
Kiki?
No.
He's
remember
on.
the
He's
song.
presenting.
He's the bigger dude.
He was he was performing and he like just dropped.
This happened recently?
Yeah,
What?
recently.
past week?
Like earlier in the week.
What?
Who was it?
I didn't
I'm
even know
blanking
about
on his
that.
name.
Where's he from?
He's from Houston, I
Houston.
believe.
Fuck.
It's like Big Pete or something, or no. Hey, who just passed away
Big
in Houston?
Pokey.
Big Pokey.
Oh, Big Pokey, bro. Okay,
I
yeah,
said Big
yeah. Bro, that's crazy. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, it was a couple days ago.
Bro, that's wild. He just collapsed. He was a
Yeah,
big
on
dude
the
though,
stage.
right?
He's a big dude, yeah.
Damn, that's tough.
You said you have a question for us, sir? Do you remember?
Yeah. I was gonna ask, how did y'all all like come together? How did y'all orchestrate this whole thing? Like that, did y'all grow up together? Like,
all dating.
or I believe that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wedding song Halo.
Yeah. Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, we're all Barbs. We
All
just met on Twitter. Yeah,
You got wigs in the room and
That's how it
shit.
started, really. So we all grew up in Pflugerville.
Okay.
Everyone besides JG, he grew up in Austin. So
Okay.
he's actually from the city and shit. But we're from Pflugerville. It's like 20 minutes outside of Austin, like north. And we all went to high school together. But I mean, I was really close to Zach in high school, and then I started getting close with Zay whenever I had graduated high school, and we started working at Top Golf too. Like we were.
Oh, you already at Top Golf?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
lit,
all-
right here, bro. Like,
Dang.
so that's really where we started just getting super close.
Y'all all the same class though?
No, I'm a year
you're
younger
younger.
than they are.
Yeah,
Okay, got you.
we're off. Me, Zach, and Alex are 2015.
Okay,
so
same.
we're the
Yeah.
same
Same,
age.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Zay's a
I'm
year.
2016 and George is 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
2017.
we're all near the same age,
Yeah.
and
And
you know,
Cam and
that's
Carlos
still
are
cool, though.
2015 as well.
Pflugerville,
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
they're from Pflugerville as well. Went to high school with them
Everybody's
too.
Pflugerville High School here.
Yeah.
What did y'all do at Top Golf? Did y'all mess around a lot at Top Golf? Y'all work
Oh.
together? Yeah, he's like, all right, stop, nah.
We can talk.
We can't talk about fully like what happened.
We'll talk about
but-
some off-camera stuff.
Yeah,
but
what was
yeah.
y'all doing with those clubs, man? Y'all got to
Whoa, wait, not like
Hey,
that.
clubs got polished. Let me sit. Now I'm just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
we were definitely some little hooligans. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You know what
I was
mean?
like in high school having this job.
Yeah.
This is my first job too.
Yeah, same.
Ever?
It
Yeah, ever.
Yeah, it
That was
all-
your first job? Was y'all
All
your
of
first
us,
job
yeah.
too?
That was all our first jobs
That's
ever.
a pretty lit first job, though.
Oh,
Like,
hell
It
yeah.
was a
at
good
Top
spot
Golf?
too. It had a lot. I mean, I'm still friends with people that we met when we
Yeah.
were like
Yeah.
18, 17.
Hell
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm 26, so almost a decade that we've known like these people that we're super cool with to this
That's
day.
badass,
so.
dude.
And even then, when we run into people that we do know, it's like, oh shit, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Like,
Y'all still cool and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
like,
It's always
yeah.
love, you know.
We see people now that like we were working with them there. They're like fucking having kids together. And we were like, dude, we remember when y'all were
Like
just
managers
barely
and
talking.
shit.
Yeah. What? You got kids now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
It'd be like that sometimes. Like I've
Yeah.
seen people I haven't run into a while, and I remember them having a baby, and I see their kid. I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
That's a big ass kid, bro.
Yeah, but so yes, it really started there, and then Zach and I had ended up going down to San Marcos, and that's kind of when we would start shooting like little podcasts on the side. I
Got
think
you.
I told you about it earlier, and then moved back home with my mom. 2019, Zach and I moved back, and then 2021 is when I moved into this apartment, and
Okay.
that's kind of when we kind of were like, let's get it, you know, like this
Got
is the
you.
time. You know, I've always wanted to do like content creation, and they've just kind of been there helping me along with the journey, you know. and
Hell yeah, that's what's
So
up.
that's kind of where it started. I mean, we've known each other since high school.
But you didn't get like close till like
Till
after.
after.
Yeah, it's crazy how it works like
well,
that.
they
sometimes.
they
bro.
probably
Yeah,
they
we
were
were
close
really
during.
close.
I've known
high
him
school.
since middle school because
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
he
Yeah.
moved down from Vegas. Technically,
Yeah.
he's from
Yeah.
Vegas.
That's kind of
Yeah,
how.
I'm technically from Vegas.
Oh,
technically.
okay.
Go
Oh, you were
Knights.
born? You were
Yeah,
born in Vegas?
I moved here when I was 12.
Okay, got
So I've been
you.
here.
Yeah. So you were there for a while.
Yeah, I'm
so-
26.
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah,
half my
half
life
of
here.
it, yeah.
So, but
That's kind of how it is with my some of my best friends now. Is like I had some that I was close with since like early on elementary school,
Yeah.
and then some I got close with like I knew in high school and stuff. But then after high school, we just like clicked, and then it was just like,
Yeah.
damn, this is crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we
that-
would talk in high school, but it wasn't close.
Yeah, so I was about to say that's kind of how it was with Alex.
him,
Honestly,
yeah.
like we knew of him. I've always heard about him. We went to the same high school. We like grew up in the same city,
Yeah.
but like we didn't really start talking to each other until after when we came back to Pflugerville, like I was saying, from San Marcos, and we got a job at HEB and he happened to work there. So
Oh, man, y'all just clicked.
and we just
everything,
so he's been the boy ever since.
Yeah.
So
He came down one time, like for my birthday. I remember that in San Marcos, and
Yep.
he brought me a bottle of Ciroc.
yeah,
Ooh.
green
Yeah.
apple.
What flavor? Oh, that's a good flavor.
Green apple for sure.
That's all
Then
he
he
used to drink.
then he fell asleep on the couch after like 2 hours
He
being
took,
there.
he took one shot.
He
and
took
that was
one
it.
shot.
We
We were some rowdy
It
kids.
was the night after that.
Yeah.
We didn't corrupt him, but let's just say he was
He was
one
a
of those like good
goody
kids.
two
Like you didn't drink?
He was a home.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so you wasn't out
he,
like that?
He was at home playing his PlayStation, streaming, reselling shoes
Ain't nothing wrong
from
with
his
that. It's a
computer.
hustle. Ain't nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
ain't
that.
nothing wrong with that.
Until you get
But
exposed,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
he got and then he met us, and we fucking changed him.
Let's just say we like to have fun.
hey, there ain't no
Yeah.
problems with
We like
that.
to
Let's
have
just
a
say.
good time.
Oh, y'all probably got a lot of stories out here in the city
Oh,
too.
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. A lot of late
Like-
nights running through these cities.
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, dude.
we were really active just like up to last year. Really,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
this is
no.
like the year where I've kind of locked in personally. But like this time last year, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like, we were going.
Yeah, for sure, man.
For sure.
And when we do, we still get at
Yeah.
it.
Hey, bro, don't you
We
wanna
gonna be at
when
it
it
this
comes.
Friday. Let's just
Hey,
say
it
What are you
that.
doing Friday?
What's that?
What are you doing Friday?
Friday. I was gonna go back home this weekend, but what y'all try to do?
It's,
Hey,
It's my
birthday.
birthday.
Bro.
Yeah, it's my birthday on Friday.
Oh, what y'all gonna
Yeah.
do? What y'all gonna do?
We're going bowling, and then we're gonna probably go to
Oh, yeah.
East,
Okay.
the Lucky Duck.
Dang, I was gonna head home Friday. I'll see what's up. No, I'll see what's up.
Yeah, we'll be
shit,
in touch.
man.
Yeah,
Well,
you
hey,
know,
we're gonna
Yeah.
we'll throw it
Happy
out
early
there.
birthday, by the way.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna go
right,
to winery
sure.
early in the day too. So
A winery?
yeah.
Get all
Facebook.
bougie and
Have you ever
shit.
been on a wine tour?
No.
Or no?
Not
You
like an
ever?
official, one. Yeah, we
Okay.
went to like a winery for my birthday in March, and it was just like that winery.
Oh, it
But-
wasn't like on a tour.
No, I
Yeah,
want to.
okay,
That's
yeah.
what I want to do. Like,
Yeah, those look lit, honestly.
Yeah.
I like wine. I'm a big wine guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
same.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. So, who kind of like inspired y'all to podcast, or who was like some like podcast that y'all watched that made y'all like kind of want to
So,
get into it?
the people that kind of inspired me was I don't know if you ever heard of No Jumper.
Yeah.
Adam 22.
Adam 22,
Like
yeah.
before he was like super like popping. It was like when he was interviewing like all those like SoundCloud rappers.
Okay.
So that's kind of when I was
Before
like,
the
oh,
OnlyFans shit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was just it
Before
was-
you met Lena.
Yeah, before you met Lena.
Before they were together type
Yeah,
shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like that era and just kind of like, oh, like they're able to like sit, talk about like what they got going on in their life. Like I can do that. You know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the motivation and just kind of like seeing other people like elevating from what they've originally started from. Like
That's cool,
I follow
bro.
this other one called Through the Wire. It's like a basketball podcast and they kind of are doing like live shows
Mm-hmm.
and like merch and it's like inspirational because it's like we can do that.
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like it's not.
That's badass, dude. Once you
Yeah.
feel that,
hard.
you're like, yeah, for sure.
that's kind of bro. I love YouTube. Like I'm a YouTube kid that like
On
grew
YouTube
up.
every day,
You know
man.
what I mean? Like that's literally like what.
Do you remember the last day that you went without getting on YouTube?
I couldn't tell you, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Bro, it's
maybe
crazy,
it was like,
right?
Maybe it was
That's
when I
wild.
didn't have any power type shit. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm on
The
YouTube.
storm or something.
Snowstorm,
Yeah.
Snowvid.
Like, yeah, that might have been like that's my entertainment. Like,
Yeah.
I
I love
get on
YouTube,
that
bro.
like every day. It's like my TV. So
Bro, I remember getting on YouTube on the computer before I even had a phone.
Before I
bro.
yeah.
I remember when
bro.
YouTube was the little brown TV.
Oh
Yes,
wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadass.
Oh,
Shout out about
geez.
that.
Like
Yeah.
2010.
Talk about it.
Circa
Talk about it.
2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
No, yeah, like so yeah, those are my main two for just shooting podcast wise, but like content creation, there's just like I get motivated by like all my friends and shit for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing Cam and Carlos doing it, like they've been doing it for like 4 years now and like they've kind of gone through hardships as a company, but like the fact that they're still able to actually do it. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, okay, it's motivational because like I live with them, so I see what
What
what they're
on the
doing
day-to-day,
and like
yeah.
all the podcasts we're shooting and all the time and effort it takes to get to where you want to be. Like it's not easy.
No,
you
for
know?
sure.
Like, and-
Anything in life ain't easy,
yeah,
man.
it's
know?
not gonna be handed to you. So you got to put in the hours, you got to put in the work, and then of course we all have our day jobs that
Mm-hmm.
we're still doing. But this is what we want to do ideally. But it's just motivational, man. Like seeing that, like
Yeah.
all right, like we can do this, like as a collective. Like if we lock in and go focus. It's like it's achievable.
Most
you know?
definitely.
So,
And that's a good mindset to have, man. That's a good mindset because like that's what I say. Whenever like you're passionate about something, and you really enjoy something, and you have fun with it, like it's gonna be easier to go through the hardships, or it's gonna be easier to go through adversity or setbacks, because you genuinely love that or you're passionate about that. You know what I mean? And as opposed to something that you really don't fuck with like that.
Yeah, or
You know
you're
what I
doing
mean?
it for like the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
yeah, that's
what-
a big one.
I feel like
That's a big
what
one.
a lot of people do
Do it for the
this
wrong
thing for.
reasons.
Like at the beginning, like I mean, shit, we still haven't made money, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've invested a lot time, not even money. You know, just a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
and like we haven't gained anything back, like monetization wise. Like
Yeah.
we've grown as people, so that's what we've meant. Built up relationships, and that is more important than money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But like. That is something that like kind of motivates certain people, you know.
Yeah.
So like the fact that like we haven't even made anything technically, but
Mm-hmm.
we are so consistent. It's like, oh yeah, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen.
It'll
You know what I
come.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like how it is for you. You know, you put in the work to get that belt. You know,
Yeah.
like you deserve that.
Most
like
definitely.
it's not. It wasn't just handed to you. You got to
No,
go
yeah.
in there every day and train and diet and go on your weight cuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time for us.
For sure, man. I appreciate that too.
yeah,
But that's
no.
that's what it is, man. Like it's just really like you take care of the process, the results take care of themselves, you know. And like it'll come. Like
Yeah.
you just have to like you never know, because that's where because I'm big on inspiration too, man. I look for inspiration all the time, man. And it's like, why wouldn't you? Or like why there's no bad in being
Yeah, it's
inspired.
not a bad
You
thing.
know,
yeah.
it's never, you know. And it's just like, yeah, you take care of the process, the results will come, you know. Stuff will come. You just gotta stick to the script. Like that saying, stick to the script, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody's script is different.
Different, yeah.
Everybody's journey is different. Some people get it quicker, some people get it further down the road. You know, but you just gotta hone into who you are and what your journey is. Don't look at what other people are doing. You know, take inspiration to that, most definitely, but understand that their journey is not your journey. You know what I mean? 'Cause there's no need to compare yourself to other people or other teams and stuff like that. Like I said, still look to be inspired, you know?
Yeah.
But you're running your own race. You're running your own marathon. You know what I mean? Shout out
marathon
Nipsey Hussle.
continues.
You
shout
know
out
what I
to
mean?
Nipsey, man. I see
Like
that.
your
And,
shirt.
Yeah.
Me versus me, man. That's a big thing for me too, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I see you got it is. You have it tatted on
yeah,
the side
man,
of
it's
your
a big, you know, this is kind of what I want my brand to be, you know, me versus me, but it's inspired from the marathon, from Nipsey's message. Because at the end of the day, man, it really is versus you, like in any aspect, you know, because you have the power in your own mind, your own emotions to prepare yourself to get to your goals and get to where you want to be in life. But you also have the power to be your own worst enemy at the end of the day, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of how I felt like my life has been. You know what I mean? There's times where you mentally kind of fold in certain circumstances, certain situations. Then you reflect on that and you're like, why? Why did I do that? It was just you and you. Really? You know, you had the power for somebody to tell you something, and I could do with that as I please. You know what I mean? You can let it affect the internal, or you could just blow it off. It's not going to affect me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why my thing is me versus me, because you got the power to get to where you want to go. You got the power to stay where you at, or don't move at all. And, you know, that's why it's always you versus you. And you hear it a lot, too. You'll hear people like, biggest inspiration, they talk about this. You versus you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I live my life by. And that's kind of what I just want to stick with it. And hopefully maybe we get it to becoming a brand. Merch, you know what I mean?
Let him cook. Oh my god.
Bars, you know what I mean? No. But no, that's badass though, that you just feeling inspired and then just stick in the process, man. It's always a grind, man. There's been some hard times for me too, man. There's still hard times, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just got to stick with it and just keep going. And, you know, who knows, maybe if you do decide to stop, what if you were just on the verge of that one thing, that one break? You know what I mean?
I always think of that like one picture I always see on Twitter.
The
It's
diamonds?
like the mining shit.
Yes,
Oh,
dude.
if you
It's
would have
just
gone
right
one
there.
more right there, you would have got two. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, that's just a thing that like I've always like, bro, like just keep going. Like there's
sure,
no
man.
for us personally, like we've been doing it consistently for almost like a year and a half. It's like, what do we do that for if we're not gonna if we're just gonna quit?
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not even an option at this point. It's just like how are we gonna elevate each time and better ourselves.
Most
you know what I mean?
definitely. I think it was Meek Mill. You're familiar with him? It was a clip of him, and he was like, I just started making money. He was like, I was broke for 7 years, 8 years. You know, I've been rapping for 14 years.
yeah.
Like, I just got money. He's like, why can't you wait 7 years? Why can't you wait this and
Yeah.
that? You know, I see that, and I'm like, all right, bro, I gotta go listen to
Right.
Dreams and Nightmares and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's get back on this grind.
Drive about this and time about that.
Oh wait, so who's? Let me. I want to go down the line. Who's your favorite artist, music artist? Talking off the Kid Cudi thing, I just want to
Jermaine.
interesting.
Cole.
Hey, that's not a bad one.
Okay,
that's
it
it.
used to be. It used to be.
Yeah.
How did it change up?
Honestly, whenever for his eyes or like for my eyes only, I forgot.
For your eyes only.
Yeah.
Eyes Only,
After the album came out, I was kind of like, eh.
Dang.
Like I'm be honest, like cause he got too like I don't know.
Like mellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like too. And there's nothing wrong with being inspirational.
Oh,
don't get
for
me
sure.
wrong, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, I'm like, I came from Born Center. I want Born Center. Like I
a good
know
album.
as an artist, you're supposed to progress, change up like
Everyone
that.
changes. Yeah.
And everyone changes. Like you shouldn't be on the same thing every time. Don't get me wrong, but
That's what you liked.
yeah,
That
I was
it.
like, Born
Yeah,
Center was
yeah.
like, damn, like that's
Good
fire.
album.
But to answer your question though, honestly, probably that guy over there, that's on that cardboard.
Trav.
Yeah,
Hey.
so
Who is
know
it?
that-
Yeah, who is that guy? I know he just said it. But
yeah,
My
that
bad.
guy's
Who is that guy?
Yeah, who is that?
His name is Alex Lee. But no, I'm just kidding. His name is Travis Scott.
Did you go to Astroworld? Or no?
Yeah.
Dang, that's
So
wild.
me and him,
Like the most recent one, or like
well,
Yeah.
me and him.
what?
So we've been all 3 years.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
live though.
So
Did
Have,
it
like,
get
the
better at or was it always just crazy? Or
crazy.
It got crazier.
It got crazier.
But I think that was that was the first festival since COVID. It was like
But
it was
built up
people coming
energy,
back.
yeah.
it was different.
People
like,
had everything pinned up.
the
like-
vibe was definitely different at this
On
past
that third
Astro.
year,
But
yeah.
I mean, it was great every single year. Like
yeah.
that's
Personally,
a movie, dude. Yeah.
I thought it was just a normal ass concert. Because that's how it is.
Yeah.
We've been to Travis
Festivals
Scott
are like
concert.
that, or-
Well, yeah, but even then, Travis Scott specifically,
Different
it brings out a
energy.
certain.
it was like a normal Travis Scott concert.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like anything. I was like, oh, we're used to this. You couldn't handle the mosh. It's time for you to get out.
Yeah.
Like you got to be smart about it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's like you know who you're signed up for.
yeah, exactly.
And the fans. And
Exactly,
you
and the
know
fans.
what I mean?
We're not normal fans.
Nah,
not like-
these were-
Ragers.
These
Yeah.
were those kids that were like Fortnite kids that wanted to go see Travis Scott.
Yeah.
They saw
You
it.
can't hang
These
with
were
us,
like
bro.
OG
Yeah.
Travis
These
Scott.
are like
yeah.
the Ragers and shit. Yeah, that we're
So-
on a different level.
What was y'all's favorite artist?
Yeah.
Mine is gonna be Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
My sister showed me him during middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known him when Man on the Moon came out, and even Man on the Moon 2, all that. Just seeing him progress to now. Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
Day and night.
Throwback.
Like you said,
What?
soundtrack
What?
to my life and all
Yeah.
that. Come
Yeah.
on. Mr. Rager.
Bro, I
Bro.
I saw him perform Soundtrack to My Life on 106 in Park. I remember that. You remember that show? Did you remember that show?
Yeah.
And that's when I was just like, bro, Kid Cudi. And then, of course, Day and Night came out, everything. And I was like, damn, bro, he's a vibe.
Hell
And he's gone
yeah.
through a lot of shit too.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
kind of open about it too, which is cool.
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
He's very mental health and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is important too. But that's
Everyone's
dope
saying
artist,
Man
too,
on
though.
the Moon 4 is about to come out soon.
Right.
So
What
he's-
was it? What Man on the Moon 3, right? Was the last?
Yeah, Man on the Moon 3.
It
was
came
the
out
last
what?
one.
20.
Ah,
It was like 10 years, right? Or something like that?
Or-
between
From 1
2 to
from-
3
No, from 1 to 3.
to 3.
Or was it 2?
Yeah, no.
It was a big.
It was a big gap.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
2 to 3?
Oh wait, no. 2 to 3 is the big gap.
Yeah.
Okay, that
1
might
to
have
2
been.
One
was
and
not
two
the.
wasn't. It was
that-
like
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, but 2 to 3 was at least.
Yeah, I think he just released,
10 years.
2019.
No, I think it was 2020
was it? It
or
was
21.
After, it was after COVID.
It was
I think
either,
it was after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or during or whatever.
it was either during or near the end of COVID.
Yeah, those years are a blur to me. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie
but
to you.
even then,
Those shits are-
he's come a long way, and
was
he's just
I'll
always
look it up.
inspired all the artists that I like as well. He's inspired Travis Scott.
Yeah,
he
for sure.
literally his name is part of
What was
because
that
of Kid
song that they
Cudi.
did on they did together, him and Trav? Damn, I can't remember what it's called.
Which one?
They got Birds in the Trap,
Trap.
where
The Scots.
this.
It was Trav and Cudi on
On
Midnight.
Oh, I was just looking at the song.
Damn, I'm going blank right now. I'm gonna get
we're
my.
going blank.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
I love that song because Trav he says like a verse or the same melody that Day and Night had. Day and night.
Yeah, it's off of Birds.
Yes, Birds
Through
and
the
Trap.
late night.
Is it
Through the late
oh,
night?
through the
Yeah,
late
yeah.
night?
Sweet
All through the late night. Yeah.
All through the late
Yeah,
night.
that sounds hard. Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, damn. I was like, no, he released the album earlier, the Man on the Moon 3. I'm thinking of the Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying.
Bro, that was like 2016. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that one had a song with Travis
When was
in there.
on 3? When was Man on the Moon 3?
3?
19,
Oh, crap.
20?
One of my favorite ones, in my opinion, that I don't know if like a lot of people say, but Wizard of his is really good as well.
Wizard. I've heard a little bit of
Yes.
that.
Yeah. I was like,
Have you ever like heard an album and then like you listen to the whole thing, right? And then you go back and it's just like better than what you
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you actually like kind of
Absolutely.
Yes.
listen to
Oh,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've done that a lot too.
Yeah, I think
like,
that
from songs.
that's kind of like, especially with the artist that you like really fuck with, like you think it's like really good or like you don't think it's as good, and then you listen to it back and you're like,
Oh, this slaps.
ah, this shit fire,
Yes,
bro.
bro.
Like,
Yes.
that's how it is with a lot, like, because I'm like, I don't know, like, because I try not to be too high on it, you know, like if I
Yeah.
fuck with an artist, I fuck with an artist, but like I'm a realistic person, like
For sure.
if it was bad, like I'll say
I wasn't. It was kind of mid.
and, but
or
then I'll
something.
listen to it. I'm like, nah, I was just being too hard of a judge. Like, this shit's kind of fire, bro. But yeah. So who's your favorite artist?
Mine's Drake. I'm
Drake
a
of all
Drake
time?
fan. All time.
all right, quick question with that.
Drake.
Honest rating,
Okay.
honestly, never mind.
What's that?
Honest rating, honestly, never mind.
It was different. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay.
I tell you,
Yeah,
man,
it's like
I'm a
a-
Drake stan, dog. So you know what I mean. But it was.
Should I give it a
It
rating?
gave you Jimmy Cooks.
That's
It
true.
did.
It gave you, and that was like the teaser to like let you know I can still do this.
And we've seen that performed live.
you know what I mean? Was that an Astroworld?
For free. For free.
That's
for free.
crazy, dude. Okay. Oh, but anyways, it was different. You know what I mean? He was expecting house music or you know any
Oh,
techno
yeah.
things.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
It was
but
definitely
Sticky
different.
Sticky was still alive.
Sticky.
Sticky was
You
still
know.
alive. There's a couple songs that I still fuck with too, and then there's some that are just. You know, it's kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah, I say mid,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I still think it's good because I'm just a fucking fan. But yeah, it was different, and I don't think a lot of artists could have done that.
That's fair.
Like if you're talking about like the big names,
Beyonce
there's
tried.
not a lot of people that can do that.
So rating wise,
I know. Beyonce tried the.
so like if you had to put a number to it though, out of 10,
A number on that one, I'd give it like a. Oh man, but Jimmy Cooks makes a lot up for that. I'd say like a.
That was like the song of the
Seven
summer.
Hey man, Jimmy be cooking, so
Yo,
he
he
had
be
to, not
cooking,
the first
man.
time he's had to put it on his back.
Yeah, bro, I probably give it like a 7.8. Yeah, it's like a 7.5, 7.8 between there. Yeah.
What are your 10 out of 10s for Drake?
Oh, bro, that's tough. Songs?
Or I mean, you could just do albums. We can make.
Well, I was about to
Album?
say, what Drake albums do you think are classics?
Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, for sure.
Without
And
a
then
doubt.
Thank Me Later is debut, so that kind of hit different. It was just like the anniversary, too, on that.
Yeah.
But my favorite is Take Care, and then Nothing Was the Same is right after it, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess,
Leather.
yeah. Dude, Tuscan Leather is one of his hardest intros ever, bro. Hardest.
Crazy. Come
And it's
Through.
like 3 different types of songs on the song. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, bro, come through. Man, don't get me started, man. I'm going to keep going all day.
Yeah, fine.
No,
I love that
but,
album.
No, but like Take Care is probably one favorite because it was like a pretty long album,
Yeah.
too. And it kind of, it's like nostalgic for me, too. You know what
I feel
mean?
like that's one of those too where like it puts you in the mood, like even if like
what do you mean by that?
Doing anything.
yeah, like even if you're bro, like that's like a love's like album. You know why you acting weird, bro. You know
I'm
how
not acting weird.
Yeah, you are.
It's not Halo, man.
We know you be banging
Yeah,
Take Care.
Yeah, you know it's not Halo.
I know how you are about Marvin's Room.
Yeah, exactly.
Shot for me.
It's like you're a
Word
sad
for word,
boy.
baby.
Yeah.
That's literally like the evolution. That's what like why everyone was like, oh, I'm gonna rap about my feelings now. It was because of that album, you know. So it was a different time, but
If he could do it,
And-
we could do it.
Yeah. But he still has like hell yeah, fucking
Oh, yeah,
right,
no,
the
there's
motto,
anthems.
and he still had bangers,
Anthems,
dude.
bro,
That
like-
headlines is on there, bro. He still got bangers on that mother, and he still got the like the
Shot
singing
for me.
ones.
Come
Yeah,
on, bro.
Cameras is my favorite song on that album. Cameras is just like a vibe. The first part, like just cameras. The good
Yeah.
ones is still good too, though.
Yeah.
But those are 2 different vibes
They're
on the song,
completely-
you
yeah.
know. And I just like it too because he's real versatile. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No,
You
I
go
fuck with
go to
Drake.
Take Care, and then you go to Honestly Nevermind. Not a lot of people could do that. You know, and I remember from Over, like, you know, Thank Me Later, you know what I'm saying, bro? Up All Night, all those bangers.
Yeah.
And even now he puts out Her Loss of 21. one of the newer rappers.
Yeah.
And he's still holding it down. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where
That's
I'm just
a-
like, yes.
Yeah, he's like, hell
I literally
yeah.
have to honestly never mind. I was like, I got something to pitch now.
Yeah,
you
no,
know what I mean?
Loss is great.
I got something in the holster.
I
you
still
know?
bump that shit to this day, bro. Her
To
loss,
this day.
like consistently.
Yeah,
But
and what about yours?
Yeah, I would say my favorite artist, man. It's probably Kanye.
Kanye?
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm
respect, bro.
I'm a big Kanye fan. Like, and it was like when I was like when Yeezus came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really started to like. That was the first Kanye album where I like wasn't listening to his old music and I was aware like that he was releasing right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was like
got
my
you.
senior year, I think, junior year, and I was like listening to Ye's old shit, like College Dropout was probably my favorite album of all
Classic,
time.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can listen to that front and back. And
Yeezus had like Bound 2, right?
Bound
And
2,
Blood on the Leaves, right?
Black
Yeah,
Skin, brought it up
yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
That's a hard album, honestly,
So
bro.
I actually really didn't like that album at first.
first?
And then looking back at it, I'm like, oh, bangers. Like,
Yeah.
It's like the type of music that Travis kind of got inspiration from, like that raging music.
Yeah.
And like Travis is probably my two, you know what I mean? But like
Trav's hard.
Ye as just a creative, and I like look up to him as just like it's hard to say, like I wouldn't say like really like a role model.
No, I
but,
get you.
like,
I
know
get
what
you.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. In his
just-
craft
just
or
the
in his
way-
profession.
the
like, I
way
get
he
you.
went about creation and like don't box me in. I may be a producer, but I
sure.
can rap. I can
Yeah.
design. I could. And
The
like
documentary was crazy.
Bro.
Like how he's showing them, what's the song? All Falls Down? Is that the song?
All Falls Down,
Right?
yeah.
And they're not even vibing with it. Like the
Yeah,
record
he's
label
just-
ain't in and he's just going off and
Yeah.
he still believed in it. He
Exactly.
still knew what it was, but people
Yeah.
didn't know.
So
and
I-
then that's still a classic to this day. You know
I
what
think
mean?
that's what sticks with me
For
more.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just his like everyone doubted him. No one thought he was gonna be where he's at right now. And I think like a chip on your shoulder, but like you know you're good. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you don't believe in yourself, who is going to?
Yeah.
Type
True.
shit.
For
Like
sure,
that's,
man.
That's kind of it's like a deeper meaning for me, and like Kanye being
No,
my
yeah.
favorite artist. Like
Most
looking past all his
definitely.
shit that he does now, like he is the way he is because like of what he's done. You know, like he's a legend.
Yeah.
Like, in multiple facets.
For sure.
All
man.
right, so let me ask, I'm gonna see if I get this right because I'm showing the answer. What's your top 3 Kanye albums in order?
Probably College Dropout. Probably Life of Pablo,
Oh,
and then see the third
One of
one's
these
tough.
two.
Like
One of these two.
I kind of like his. I like Yeezus a lot. I'm not gonna
Hold
lie.
on, hold on,
Probably
hold on.
Yeezus.
Damn.
Yeezus 3?
Yeah.
Damn.
What'd you think?
He has college dropout
Graduation, late registration,
in that order.
in that exact order.
I do like late
Because-
registration is kind of carried by like "Hey Mama" for me. Like
Yeah.
that's just a very sentimental song to me. Like
Yeah.
you know, I love my mom, and that was like always a song that I would play. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that and like listening to it, I would like be not,
Deeper
like-
meaning,
yeah,
right, than
I mean,
the song.
like, not crying, but like it makes you tear up a little bit.
Feeling the
Like,
emotions.
Yeah,
Definitely
that
emotional
song goes
song.
hard, bro.
Most
Like,
definitely.
that's how like Kanye is for me, man. Just like very like deeper meaning than just music. Like it's like no one believed in him and doubted him, and he is Kanye.
No, and a lot of stuff that he's done too gets like taken away from, of course, what like
He's
doing now.
yeah.
But a lot of people kind of not all people, because people still appreciate what he did in the music industry and producing and all the songs too. But he's a genius in that realm in music
Exactly.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Even people in the music industry would probably give him credit for that.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff gets overshadowed now, or
Yeah,
taken
'cause
away because of how
everything-
he is
yeah,
now.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
But yeah, like I know people that were big Kanye fans. They're still big Kanye fans. My coach from college, he was a big Kanye fan too.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's a little out there now,
Yeah.
you know, but he's just like, he still doesn't kind of take away from what it did to me in
Yeah.
the music, you know?
Yeah.
And just
can't
like,
take
yeah.
that away from someone, man. Especially music is one of those things too where like when you find it and it hits you, like it means so much more to you than probably what anybody else
For sure.
does, you know,
It could be like nostalgic too in a
Yeah.
way. Like you hear a song or an album and it's like, dang, I remember I was doing this.
this
And-
time at this
yeah, yeah.
like,
Actually, that
Let's see, Woodchuck Hearts.
Okay.
Oh, that is pretty good.
it's like a cider
Woodchuck?
mimosa.
That is pretty good. Damn,
Pretty fire, right?
that is good.
5% too.
Right? Is it right?
What is your favorite food?
Pizza?
Pizza?
Pizza, 1000% my favorite food. Like, and I'm just a simple pepperoni kind of guy. I don't do like all of the other stuff. If it's there, yeah, I'll eat it. You know what I mean? But just a pepperoni, stuffed crust if I'm feeling a little crazy.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, dog. Bro, I'll tell you, I down a whole box. I'm not even joking with you. Yeah, bro. I remember I was working. I had a job at a sporting goods store, and I'd go on my lunch break, and I'd go get a box of pizza, hot and ready from like Little Caesars. And one time my boss asked me, he's like, "Dude, how many times do you eat pizza like at the week?" And I'm like, "I never thought about that." I was like, and he's like, "Yo, this is like the 4th time this week I've seen you like eating pizza." And I'm like, "Yo, I probably need to stop." I was like, "Damn." Making me do some self-analyzing. But yeah, to answer your question, pizza. And then after my fights, that's usually the first thing that I eat is a pizza.
Hell yeah.
From where? What's your like favorite pizza?
Bro, honestly, I'm super biased when it comes to pizza. So I've never, people like, I don't like that type of pizza or pizza from that place. I'm cool with Little Caesars, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Little Caesars good.
Hey, man. I remember in high school,
nasty.
baby. High school was just $5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pizza. Yeah. But yeah, I like
feel that.
But all of those chains. But when I got to Austin, I was just like, oh, damn, there's levels. You know what I'm saying? There's some different,
Have you had a Pine House pizza?
Pie House?
Yeah.
No, Pie House.
Oh.
Pie? Like pie?
Pint.
Pints, like the
Pints.
pints.
Oh, no. I never had
You gotta
pints.
go there.
Yeah.
I've
And they got
had-
good beer.
Via 313, Via?
I've heard that place is pretty good.
Via? It's like the thicker one, Chicago style
Yeah.
or some style or whatever.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. But yeah, Little Caesars, low key. Yeah. I might be a little cheap, but it's all good, baby. Get the job done.
Hell yeah. I
know.
know that answer though.
Okay. Well, what was your favorite show growing up watching?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, damn. I was a big fan of Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince was a big one for me. And then that one I used to like. I like Drake and Josh, I remember.
Hell yeah.
And then animated, I like the Rugrats.
Okay.
Big, especially the movies came out. Man,
Reptar.
yeah. I was more of a movie kid than a TV show kid, though. So I was big
Okay,
on
what's your favorite movie?
Dude, Toy Story, bro. Toy Story,
One?
man.
The
All of
OG?
them.
All
of them, but
The whole
one.
saga.
Yeah, but all of them, but the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the fourth one, I kind of had a little heartbreak. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Cried a
When they
little
left,
It's
okay. You don't have to
I still
talk
haven't seen
about it.
that.
Like, Mom, you still got the VHS tape?
Thanks.
But yeah, Toy Story is my favorite movie, like animated one. But like TV shows, I was big on Fresh Prince and Drake and Josh. I remember like off top. I know I'm gonna leave them like, fuck, I remember that show too. But those are like the ones off of it.
What is your favorite shoe? Doesn't have to be specifically Jordans, but
My favorite
if you would like to go
Ooh,
specific
that's a good
Jordan.
one. More of a J guy, more J's. Oh, I feel like a lot of people like the 11s though. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just like the 11s. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Okay, well, I say this. So it might be like the ones, like low ones, but I like the colorways. You know what I'm saying?
So
Those are the
low
0.5s.
ones.
Those are the 0.5s.
The white boy dads.
No, so I like colorways. That's my thing.
Okay.
So it could be whatever shoe, but I like colorways, like specific colorways.
Yeah, I think you said you like neon, right? That's
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
I like shit that pops. Like even when I was hooping, like I love like bright shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Regardless of whatever shoe it was or like whatever style I was feeling, it had to be like a different colorway. You know what I mean? Like like where you can see it right off the back on the court. You know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like I've always.
What's your
had that
favorite
style.
hooping shoe?
Hooping shoe? Ooh, man. I remember I hooped in Kobe's. Oh, man. R.I.P., man. That's a dude inspiration right there, man.
I cried when he died, bro.
But I used to hoop in, damn, what is I a lot of Nikes, but I remember like there was like the Hyper Dunks, the Hyper Fuses, a lot of those. I used to hoop in Chris Paul's. I remember I had a couple
The
Chris
Jordans?
Paul's. Yeah, the Jordans. And but yeah, dude, I hooped in a lot. And then that's the thing is like I wasn't a specific shoe that I would like to hoop. It was the colors that I would like. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I remember I hooped in LeBron's a couple times, and yeah, those are a little more bulky.
Yeah, those
a
are-
little more
Oh,
heavy.
yeah.
But I would like either they had to be light, and I liked the color. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really like. It didn't matter what the shoe was specifically. I just cared about the lightness and then the colorway. You know what I'm saying? D Rose had some sick shoes in his prime too,
did. Yeah,
bro.
he did,
Crazy
yeah.
lights. I was like, man, dude. But Yeah.
Those were crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, for real, bro. I think they're the lightest at the time or something like
Yeah,
that.
they were like,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah.
What is your favorite superhero?
Like in general, are we talking like DC, Marvel, or
Hey,
what?
That's you. That's
Yeah,
you.
who's your
Who? Okay, chill, bro. Who is your favorite superhero? Sorry.
favorite
But it can
superhero.
be from whichever universe. You could do both if you'd like.
Let's go DC first. I'll probably go with. I'm not just saying this because the movie came out, but I'd probably say The Flash. Yeah, not just because the movie came out, but I remember playing with him in the games and seeing in the animated DC, like the cartoon DCs, and
Yeah.
I've always liked The Flash, you know. And then Marvel, dude, Marvel's a little tough for me, man. I feel like they all pretty they all heavy hitters sometimes, but damn, I'd say right now Black Panther probably. Marvel. Black Panther.
You talking about the new one or the OG one?
The OG.
Chadwick.
Chadwick, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah. Yeah, probably Black Panther.
Yeah, I had to ask.
Yeah.
I had to make sure.
Next question.
Other than MMA, what is your favorite sport?
Basketball,
Basketball.
for sure.
Any favorite team?
The Miami Heat.
Wow, Jimmy Cooks.
Hey, for real?
Yeah. I was a Heat.
Always been? Or-
Always. I was Dwayne Wade is my favorite basketball player of all time.
Okay.
So, like, I was an OG, and then I just stuck with him the whole time.
Makes
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because because I remember watching him, the very first finals that they won against the Mavs.
Yep.
He had Shaq and everybody. I just loved his playing style.
Yeah, he's
and to go back to that, oh, damn, that's like full circle. See, they called him Flash. Oh, you know what I mean? And I just thought about that off the top right now. I swear.
You must do a lot of podcasts,
I swear, bro.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
And so that was straight up. I'm kind of blew my mind right now. But
like, I'm kinda
yeah,
geeking out.
they called his nickname was Flash.
Flash, yeah.
And but I just
Wow.
love his style. And then I remember him rocking the shooting sleeves, and
Mm-hmm.
that inspired me. You know, so I've always been a Heat fan. And then once he retired, I was like, damn. I was like, well, I gotta stick
Just
with him.
stuck with him.
Yeah,
That's
you know.
good. They're good too. They have like a
They
good
got a good
culture.
squad. Yeah, it's a culture. That's what
Culture.
it is. Yeah,
it's like
that's what
kind
it's
of like
culture.
what you're saying, like, you know, go out there, bust your ass. You're gonna work out, do what you have to do, regardless of who is gonna doubt you.
Yeah,
you know? So
facts.
yeah, it's a good mentality. It's a good team.
That's a good thing. The culture. Yeah, you know what you're gonna get when you go there.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and I have two more questions.
Come on, man. I like it.
The next one is, what are your plans for the rest of the year for you?
Rest of the year, we'll first recover from this injury, and then, excuse me, hopefully fight at least two more times this year, 2 or 3 more. I want to do another Muay Thai fight, which is in the bigger gloves and in the ring. But yeah, man, just staying active, man. As long as I'm healthy and I'm good to go, just keep getting more experience. So when we get to that level, we'll be like prepared for anything, you know. And then just keep getting better and better every day. You know what I mean? Like, stick to the script, trust the process, and then it's me versus me, man. You know, so that's really what my goal is. And now being in the moment too, it's like more important for me personally to focus on that process.
Yeah.
You know, because then like whenever you reflect, you're like, damn, I got this done. Damn, I did this. You know, because I wasn't too focused on that, on the outcome or at the ending result, you know? So yeah, man, just grind and keep getting better. Overall, as a mixed martial artist, as a fighter, and as a person, really. Yeah.
Okay. And what was your favorite question?
Y'all had a lot of questions, man. This is fun.
That's one little inside joke.
That's an inside joke
If
right
you've
there.
watched the vlog,
Watch the
you
vlog,
know.
you'll get that.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Well,
That's one of a kind question right there.
Literally.
Well, the last thing I would like to just say for sure is thank you for coming on. Where can these people find you? Where like ads, promotions, anything's coming?
Well, shout out y'all first. PCT, Park Car Talks, man. Appreciate y'all having me. This was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, they can follow me on Instagram at here's Johnny G _03. So I post a lot of like my fight stuff and events coming up and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I need to dabble more into my social media, but yeah, I'm growing in that aspect too.
It'll
You know
come,
what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got you. We'll help you
Yeah,
out with that,
for sure.
If someone's trying to fight you, you know, or set something up, how they do that?
Someone try to fight me?
No. If someone's trying to fight you, like on actual set something up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not like
that bill.
We can move this table
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
we
Yeah, bro. I've been watching all the Jackie Chan. Yeah, like, let's do it.
Be like Jet Li and shit.
Yeah.
Now, but if somebody's trying to fight me, like upcoming fights, I would just tell them to keep running their race. You know, maybe I'll pass across. Yeah. I'm just, and literally that's my thing is like, I don't get too personal when it comes to fighting somebody else. Like, I'm a big competitor. That's the main thing. But like, I'm competing with myself at the end of the day. Like, I'm proving to myself that I can do this and I can take whoever they put out in front of me. I don't care about your name. I don't care about what you did or this and that. It's not personal.
Yeah.
But this is about me versus me. That's my thing. Like, it's a deeper meaning than just a fight to me. It's like, bro, I'm putting myself through all of this stuff so I can prove to myself that I'm capable of this, that I'm capable of getting these results that I didn't think I could get. Or I was doubting myself. Why the fuck was I doubting myself? You know what I mean? So I don't care about who's across from me or whatever. I'm like, I got a job to do, and even if I don't get it done, say if I have a L, I was like, cool. I was like, I'm still happy with the process that I put myself through and how much I grew in the process. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, if they want to come, we'll cross paths eventually. You know what I mean? They'll come. You know what I mean? But
Wait,
just
showtime.
still sit and watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand it.
But yeah, man, that's it.
Whoa, any last shout outs?
Nah, man. Hey, shout out PCT, of course. Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah.
Shout out Black Widow MMA. Shout out Uvalde, Texas, back home. The squad, the fam, everybody, all my supporters and fans. Even if you're a hater, I still love you too. You know what I mean? But yeah, appreciate y'all guys for having me again, man. And yeah, man, hopefully we'll do this again sometime, man.
Hell yeah.
A lot of fun, bro.
Maybe right before the next fight.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or after.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, most
We'll definitely be in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
y'all.
We love you.
Oh, you ready?
You don't even know them.
Appreciate y'all guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
anytime.
problem, bro.